when doing the like processing the photos and the video, it's just a shitload. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and this morning because doing graphics and stuff, it's just like too now, and it's like it's literally like this day at this time they have to do a check, make sure you didn't do it already.
Yeah, most of the last ones, the way the time lined up with the States, I could just send the video back to the States and so I passed it one and they can't even get up at like 4 in the morning, you know. Yeah, so I did it. So, which isn't that bad when you're done, but it's like, that's not immediate.
Yeah, that's what I'm sure for nothing. Weight and brain to me is like,
yeah, you're done.
Like,
yeah.
That's what I said earlier, right? So it's pre-footage.
Well, that's done this. It's just fights tomorrow, Sunday number round. Yeah, looking forward to it. Took a little time off. Head down to the lobby.
Can't wait to see the world. Maybe I'll go outside.
Walk the grounds.
Yeah, pretty much.
Imagine shit was like this and we did it for 5 weeks.
Especially like my specials as well.
Yeah.
Dude, it's 5 weeks in this special. You have to like buy one and then ration it out over the week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'd probably bring more than you're supposed to.
We wouldn't know. So yeah. I think if it was 5 weeks, I would honestly talk to the UFC and see like, look, can we get some sort of can we get like,
guidance.
we don't have to go out and go 3 1 half, right? You know, or I'd say to them, like, look, now it's from last time. Spent like a decent amount of cash and going to do it again.
We got 5 weeks in. It's like this, like what you would be because they're not gonna go backwards.
It's like it's not very anything. I'd be like more right with it if I just didn't get the fight and then it was just fuck off. Yeah. Like that might this is completed. Yeah. That's not
You didn't fit it. I'm just giving it a go.
Thank you. Hot mic.
And we actually haven't forgotten.
Yes.
Yes.
It's about stuff. Yes.
Why do you think we warn each other?
Or things like I'll warn these guys, and there's someone who'll be like in the bathroom, and they'll come in and they just be announcing.
When it's not you.
Somebody's
Flagging off their balls or whatever back on.
Exactly.
That's John's catchphrase. Right, stop talking shit about your balls.
I was like,
Can you never be ready?
Jesus.
Oscar. You still have my SD card? Yeah, no, do you have the one I let you use?
Wait. Did you not bring any SD cards?
Don't worry about it. No, I was out there. I can't remember if you gave it back to me or not. So you still have my phone adapter.
They fucking left out the try button, that's it.
True.
Like he didn't so today.
Forgot what can I do?
Have that leg. Like a beater back. Just go.
Guys. Far enough away, right? You can take this off.
Yeah, you can take it on. Maybe give us the how's the Fight Island experience so far? I mean, is this the future for you, or is this a one-time only thing? What do you think?
This is like more boring than the Ultimate Fighter. I mean, at least I knew what I was getting into. I mean, like this is like a big tease. At least being on Ultimate Fighter, you're kind of locked down and you knew you had nowhere to go. But to see everything that this island has to offer, and you're locked down to the hotel in your room, is kind of boring.
What's it like for you? I mean, being the main event, like in this situation, right? I mean, the main event, like it brings on like so much added attention and so much by media, but like this is different, right? So is that a good thing or a bad thing?
At this point for me in my career, I feel like it's a good thing. I feel like it's something that I need. I mean, it kind of sets the stage for me to go out there and perform and move my career to the next level. I mean, at this point, I can't blame it on what other fighters are doing or not doing. I can't blame it on politics, thing like that. I feel like it's up to me to go out there, get the job done, and then things open up for my career down the road.
Is it still just wins? I mean, or is Neil Magny going to start, talking trash to people?
I try to. It just doesn't work for me. I mean, especially with this fight with Mike Chiesa. I mean, like the dude's super humble, super nice. For me to go out there and try to talk trash, I just look like an idiot. So at the end of the day, I'm just taking that pressure on myself. It's about me going out there and performing to the best of my abilities and pushing myself. So if I can push myself to the point of exhaustion and things like that, I know for a fact there's not an automatic standard with me. So that's where my focus is going into this fight.
You had a fantastic year last year. I mean, comeback fighter of the year, and a lot of people. I mean, what do you think was the key? I mean, was it something physical? Was it something mental? Was it something tactical? What was the key?
But there was a combination of all those things. I mean, mentally, physically, tactically. Like, I had to make some changes in my training camp. I had to make some changes in my lifestyle and that kind of thing. I got some much needed rest. I mean, I had 60 months where I wasn't able to fight, so that kind of forced me to go to the gym and kind of sit down with my trainers and that kind of thing and focus on recovery and focus on how to get better as an athlete. So I think a lot of those things showed my fights in 2020.
I know you have a lot of respect for Mike as a person. How about as a fighter? What do you think about his game?
Man, it's like at this point, he's a game competitor. I mean, he has 3 fights at welterweight so far. He's undefeated. We had 2 similar opponents thus far. Conor, we both beat, but he got the finish. RDA beat me. He beat RDA. So I definitely have to respect his abilities at welterweight right now and know that he's a pretty tough opponent. But at the end of the day, that's the kind of fight that excites me.
Nice. Last thing for me, I mean, this would be a big win for you, right, in a headlining spot, starting out the year. What do you want with this? I mean, do you feel like, you've been around for like 7 years now. Do you feel like it's time for people to start talking about you as a real title challenger?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel like a dominant winner of Mike Chiesa definitely puts me in that top 5 of the division. I mean, the best part about it, it's only January. So if I go out there and get the job done against Mike Chiesa, I'll be fighting a top 5 opponent within 2 months from now. So I'm definitely excited to go out there and get this done.
Chiesa gave an interview on our site, and he said that after Hamza fell out, he just thought you would get the bump up. Leon, was there any talks in that?
So there was rumors that I was supposed to be an alternate for Leon versus Khamzat for a bit, but that just kind of never came through. When Khamzat fell out of the fight, I mean, there was pressure from my coaches and training partners like, hey, get the Leon fight. And I was just sitting there for a second. I had to think about it. I was like, well, if I start pushing for this Leon fight, I'm pretty sure Chiesa will start doing the same. And at that point, the ball's in Leon's court as far as who he chooses as an opponent. And if I were to push too hard, then it'll end up being either Mike or I falling out of a fight and sitting on the sidelines while we're both trying to accommodate Leon Edwards. So I just kind of kept my mouth shut, so to speak, and just kind of hoped that UFC would keep both Mike and undercard and potentially bump us up the main event. And that's what ended up happening.
You mentioned a win here would get you in the top 5, but it seems like a lot of people in the top 5 aren't booked or they're not active as much. So are you willing to keep fighting behind you just to stay active in this division?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I literally said I'll fight number 8 through 1 to get my title shot. And the fact that I'm fighting in January, I can very well do it this year. So I'm ready for it. I mean, whoever UFC throws in front of me, last year's show, the whole call-out thing does not work for me. I mean, I literally I thought I had to fight in my hands from calling someone out. I was like, oh, hell yeah, it's finally paying off, and it fell through. So at this point, I'm just going to fight my way to the top.
Do you remember anyone calling you out?
Dude, I mean, when had this one coming out at this point? I mean, literally seems like every other welterweight fight, the top 15 or even top 20 at this point, I'm getting called out left and right. So I'm here ready to answer these calls. So if you guys are calling me out, make sure you're ready to actually fight.
Why do you think it's always you as opposed to anyone else?
I couldn't give you a reason. I mean, the cool thing is I get called out often for guys that are trying to break the top 15, but I've never been called out for a rematch. So with that being said, I'm mostly doing something right.
Any questions?
Cool. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Looking up, boys. Looking up. Just like that. Just in the center of your board.
I was like, wait a sec. I was like,
What was the 8 particular? Oh, 10.
I was like, wait a sec. What happened? So nice.
He is very
So nice.
I didn't even watch it.
You talked to him for at least 30 minutes by now.
The thing is, we don't want to waste his time. You know, he's got things to do. But
He already has to do immediately.
Well, he was mentioning how much he like being here.
He said it was more boring than the Ultimate Fighter.
Really? Well, but
It is.
it is like,
I haven't done the other.
it was like for everybody when I was coming up. And then they're like, oh, just by the way.
You guys got screwed.
And you're gonna work triple for everyone else.
Also go on the beach, so excited.
You saw these. Oh, yeah, we're like, they're like so much fun doing race cars, golfing, riding bikes.
Yeah, they're good.
Me, did you guys hear that they cut off drink and food service center? I did. It's because you're cooking. I didn't even go out there yet.
Why? What
Why?
happened?
They left the message on every forum. I got one and I feel like
So wait, they cut it off while you've been here.
yes. It was like day after we
Pretty fucked up.
got food. I wasn't sure. I was working. So hey, don't blame me. There are no pool pictures. You guys can all look at that. I've not done
that work.
You know how to throw me under the bus? I saw naughty. More than I did. So and I found out, John, they don't charge when I needed to have the call.
Oh, so they're coming all bomb now. Keep that thing running.
So it's just like, just keep the media room open and just keep that
Exactly.
coffee flowing.
That's good news.
Oh, just a reminder, send an email, but if anybody is using a wireless mic today, let me know. So bring hard lines and they'll have stuff. Because it was
Interference,
and they're like, they're worried because when the 257 and the second for the women's fight comes in, there's more people.
They're gonna fit, by the way. There's no media time to get to 2%, right?
Adding more tables. But you got to understand, a lot of them were staff, without media, with over, side. So it's definitely going to be challenging to please everyone, because you obviously saw that tables were off to an angle and maybe not perfect. So I'm going to try to see whoever has cameras to get you guys centered like today.
Yeah.
Everyone else that isn't, bringing a camera, they're going to have to be up to the side.
That's a good one.
Yeah? It's a good one, right? Okay.
That's the person you already have the spot. I'm sure. Well, you know, I have my vested interest.
I wish, so like, on the diagram that they sent me, it looked like there was enough space for you guys to put the camera on the riser, but when I got there, it was like a third of the size. And I was like, so I'm gonna ask them for food. But the problem is, you don't have to look on that, so you keep up with that riser because the camera is like,
So long.
yeah, let me talk to them, hopefully, next. But yeah, thanks for bringing that out. Because I was like, what is happening? Because I didn't know where your guys were on the face mask. But the pillars don't do the best Yeah. Yeah, I thought at least even if it was like more space, the road that you guys can get all of these, but you showed me in the center and to be out of the way of like the car camera.
When we got on the bus, that's a head conversation. There weren't too many.
Oh, yeah, because I had to ask them. I think they said only 25.
Yeah, and then there's 27. Oh, keep your guys up.
Yeah, with the camera back.
Or what? I did this weird.
Here's the thing, it's like, I know how, if you don't think about it, and if you're halfway on a step, and then all of a sudden you step on it, and I'm like, my camera guy's gonna yell at me. And I was like, and then let alone, I was like, please be mindful of the negative. You guys on the dodge, right in front of you.
That's what it is.
At least for like 257, I know I have to tell you guys this one next week still. At least for 257, the ceremony will win to in the arena, so they do the stays.
What is the Monday? Is it going to be it?
It's not a break.
They are.
Monday will be, yes.
Oh.
So, yeah, Sunday, Monday. So Tuesday. Yeah, or whatever, yeah, I mean, like I said.
I've done that before, going to like
It actually
some
worked
place,
out a
but
little
like,
bit
I get a blah, 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 just to see what the reaction would be. But, yeah, is that even basically, no, I'm just, I did just randomly doing my friend board, so, yeah, so, I don't play.
Oh, now I'm
Take
also
pride
going to
in
have
pleasure.
a mixers.
People know.
Seriously, I'll be laughed at. I heard that was another thing. They're like, yeah, Navi's wearing shoes on her. Yeah, that was technically supposed to be like that. I think I'm still going to try to see if they have one Monday, but we'll see. So they don't even get out until 2 in the afternoon. Yeah, so we have the weigh-ins is
What's that? I don't remember.
Thursday, the first one.
It's that?
You said Thursday, but they're-
Yes.
How are you guys gonna do
on
that?
Thursday. I'll send out the schedule. So you can kind of
it's a little bit later in the day. So yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Change?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the general rundown of next week. With honored check.
I said in the past couple of days later in the day, it's the other side
5
of
or
the world
6.
this time. Yeah, that's what that's awesome.
And then you don't have no food together, but they can do pressers at the same time as the food.
There's 5 to 6 on Thursday.
Yes.
You think it's enough to schedule?
I'm hoping for tomorrow at Thursday. Go through it. But I know they're changing the shuttle time stuff for this second half. You know?
Right.
So I just wanted to do that.
Cool.
Just took a minute. So, and then he wasn't originally supposed to be on this, so, but I mean, if you need like. Yeah, oh, you did. You didn't do part of that? I thought you found your that. No, I didn't reference. Move back. Did you move back to the third, to our level? Oh, really?
It's in Florida.
The last time right. No, the last time I tried putting on hold of because he was always really good with his I think Dan E gave him to Russia.
He was there for some time.
Oh,
It's not much.
like an apple you can sit right in front. You can take my It's a dog.
All right.
Hello, everyone.
Let's do that.
It was TikTok, guys.
Well, dude, talk to me about 2020. What was it like for you, right? You came in, you had this amazing debut, everything was going great, and then it looked like you were going to follow it up, and you weren't able to do that. So I'm sure that was very disappointing. So how would you categorize the year overall for yourself?
Yeah, it was a crazy time, the pandemic of 2020, you know what? But it turned out is the best year for my career. You know, we get a good fight debut, and then I will schedule it for October. I get the positive COVID, and here we are. We are here in Fight Island in January.
Nice. What was the reunification with your family like? By the way, we saw that documentary, right, where you were trying to call your family after your fight, and you couldn't even get a hold of them. So when did you finally talk to them, and what was that like for you?
Yeah, just direct after that, maybe 10 minutes. I was in my way to the media obligation, and she called me back, my wife. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, it was great drama. It made it look like you didn't get to see her for days. So
Yeah.
What did you do during the time off? I mean, did you have to take a break from training, or were you able to keep focused with the COVID-19? How did that go for you?
I just got 15 days, 2 weeks, at home, quarantine. This is by the government in Dubai, like rules. And then I just come back training slowly, following the doctor, what he's saying to me always. And I'm okay. I didn't notice any different since before the COVID or after,
So no
nothing
physical
changing.
at all?
Not actually, no.
Nice. So you got a new opponent when you got rescheduled, which is interesting because David is like fighting this week as well.
Mm-hmm.
Were you disappointed? Did you like the matchup, or do you like Warlley better? What do you think?
No, to be honest, I didn't ask it for Mike Perry after my fight direct, but I don't have any other name. You know what? I don't watch so much. Trust me. If you tell me, like I told, if you tell me name the 10 top ranking in the division, I will not know. But they give me UFC whoever they want. So it doesn't matter for me the name, the same goal, different name. So I take it like that.
I know it's just one win in the UFC, but I mean, I feel like you got so much attention, especially in this area. Has life changed for you at all?
Yes, actually, you know what? Here in the region, like I get more like people know me, and they're more proud and happy for my achievement. But like I said it before, it's I'm here not just to make it like UFC. I'm here to like make my UFC career successful, and the same thing. I don't want to get like the media or the attention or the performance affect me or stress me or put me under pressure. I'm calm, composed, coming to this fight like always. It doesn't matter if I'm in the favorite or I'm always in my mind underdog. So that's my mentality. I take it once a time, keep the feet on the floor, and the mission same.
Fair enough. Last thing for me, I do wonder. I mean, obviously you want to win here. How do you see your career progressing? I mean, you said you're going to be humble and work, but I mean, you got so much attention. Do you want to like fast track to the top, or do you feel like you need to go step by step? How do you see your career?
Both. I wanted both. I wanna, if I finish Alves early in this fight, I will ask Dana to give me fight in after 3 days. If there is anyone lightweight, welterweight, or middleweight, for real, I mean it. I can make now lightweight for this fight. I can fight in welterweight. I can fight in middleweight. You know what? This is all what is about it. Martial art. I'm not here just give me 4 months, give me 2 months to fight. You know what? I'm ready anytime, anywhere, and I mean it. You know what? It's not about sometimes the result. Who wanted more, and I'm going there to show all what I have, and that's all what is about the spirit of martial art.
You said you don't watch a lot of fights when on your time off, but after you get an opponent, do you watch any other fights?
I watch the highlight to make it big deal in my head, and then I leave the details to my coaches.
So what do you make of Warlley Alves? Highlights.
He's a good fighter. He's well-rounded fighter. He come to fight in the feet in the ground as well too. He have good guillotine. He don't attempt for takedown, but he have good striking, and that's what make it interesting.
And in this part of the world, in the UAE, they're starting to roll out the vaccines. I think 15% have gotten the vaccine. Have you gotten the vaccine?
No, I don't get yet the vaccine. Yeah.
Why don't you watch fights? Is it just you don't enjoy the sport as a fan? Or
No, I enjoy the sport, but just, I try to organize my life between my training, my business, my family, once a time. And, when you train morning, evening, I don't want to keep doing the same thing. So, if I'm with my family or my son, I don't want to keep the phone, and watching because if I start watching, I will stop for 2 hours because this is my passion. And then my son, he's holding me, daddy. So I don't want to be honest, give to the sport. This is my part, to be selfish. It teaches me to be family man once a time. When I'm in the training, let's say I'm going for 2-3 hour training, so I'll do everything there. When I finish, I'll drive home, do my thing as a, dad, and then if there is other thing, business, each thing, in the right time. It's not because I don't like to watch it. I love to watch that and study the details, how the fighter break down sometimes and this and that. But it just I don't have that much time, to be honest.
How did the passion develop for you in using your homeland then to get the inspiration to fight? Because I think everyone has a different story from around the world in terms of who inspired them when they were younger.
Please, can you repeat again? Say it
Who
again.
inspired you then when you was watching fighting in your younger days before you got into the sport and as you got into the sport?
It's always the inspiration can change. You can get some someone actor or fighter or something, but for me, to be honest, I try to keep that motivation or inspiration in my mind, because it's always people, they can come and go. But if you have it in your mind, I have my philosophy about the fight game and this and that, so I keep it that inspiration and motivation inside my mind, to not die.
You said you have a son, right?
Yeah, Sammy.
Are you gonna support him if you want to become a fighter and do you want
No.
to be his inspiration? No. You don't want to be his inspiration?
I will introduce him to the martial art, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, tough, being confident, fit, but as a daddy, and I know what I go through, so I don't wish him to do that. I would love to secure his future, but to do this, look, in the end of the day, he will choose. But for me, I will try to, try to push him to avoid this. There is many things he can enjoy them, because the fight combat all what I've been in my young childhood, the toughness and all that thing. He don't have it now. I'm trying to secure for him better life. So I don't know his character. He will be like me or no, maybe better. So, We'll see. This thing, it's not under my control, so this is his choice.
What's it like training out of TK MMA, and how valuable is Tam Khan to you?
Say it again, please.
How valuable is Tam Khan to you?
I train full-time in Team Nogueira, Dubai.
How valuable? Oh, right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Viviane speaks okay, right? Yeah, but it's four Brazilians in a row. Brazilian double Silva de Andrade, Warlley.
I'm making that change.
They did that on purpose.
Put all of them in a row.
What kind of people
Just joking. I just had to go to you on the way back. I'm not re-transferring again. I took an hour and a half. Yeah.
I'm leaving the full awkward silence afterward. I'm leaving the full awkward silence. Isn't it? Hey, is it because homeboy, the dude is kind of a gangster? It's probably why he's like, I'm full-time Team Nogueira. Right there, and it's like, fuck yeah, it's a bang, Clearly, you said that's not true.
You hear how quick you wanted to shut that down? I know. Changed it up. At least you handled it well. I thought, oh. You handled it very well. I thought, oh. Oh, yeah. Oh.
She just brought the Instagram post. What about?
Why you lying on there?
Any respect to you for that?
You run across in the hallway, give him like a PK all day, baby. You know? He'll be on YouTube about 9:30.
You guys.
The lack of innovation.
Nothing.
Just tell the next guy that goes out there, man. He can see, right? He said he was like,
Yeah. I was talking to Daniel. What's the town called?
just gonna keep pressing it.
At least I wasn't. Slide.
Just so you guys know, I'm at Sean's birthdays today, so if you guys could sing for us, I would be great. I know. Huh? You have to bring him back? Is it? It's very low, right? Yeah. Anyway, there's like crazy.
This is left and right. Look at everything.
Birthday cake.
Are you going to be on that?
Yeah. How old is it? I mean, that's our day is our day. It's not video saying we're going to sing in harmony.
We already have an idea. Your first question would be what flavor cake do you like?
Oh.
And then what else?
And then everybody starts singing?
Yeah. I feel like I tried to do that to you guys last time, and I was only singing, so I'm not part of this one.
Lead us from the back.
I think Vaughn can do it.
Just for Derek Brooks.
Yes.
And he knows so would be also.
That was a good one.
He did.
He's like 50 something for no reason.
I was this nine.
It was fun, definitely.
That has like standing up.
And he smiled.
Well, because he went to he was screaming this big, and then everyone was saying happy birthday. Damn.
Only 10 more.
10 more.
That's it.
We're ready.
So the bartender, go ahead and pour the drink. Say if you roll, sir. Nah, it's just that.
Almost certainly not.
Chocolate? Yeah, I haven't been there.
Everyone thinking I might have a dream. Today is a holiday time for you guys.
Yeah, I think
If it was just a
I think they just want to give each other the opportunity.
Yeah.
Fair enough, but mainly themselves.
No, I'm saying it should.
I'm gonna take that as like. That's what Oscar said. I mean, yeah.
Good save.
He was like, oh, what do you think about the class?
Oh, testing that.
It has.
I remember she said
I'm just gonna ask you.
Grandma.
You think that's what she's gonna say?
I just got off the phone with TP today. He said you were there last week. I had a check in Livingston log and you were there. Where's that? Where's
And then do it like edit it like a big like the whole match face and like set it and then it goes slow mo black and white, focus on the good.
No, that's really good.
No, he said I like he said it every time.
Clearly, it's because it's both sides, but you can't come back.
if I give you a word and you start getting it into a question. Yeah.
The password is penis.
What is it? I
They had your picture hanging up on the wall.
He's got like gallery has walked in and come on the fighters that he works with. And the English guy that has it. I've got his name now, but you probably know him. Getting in there. God, jeez, on this bad. No, you're very, very good. John staring at me.
Yeah, I think I was like, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna The classics. You were around back then with Case Kiefer. Made the mistake thinking it was Robbie Lawler. The clip is so he's like, oh, sorry.
That's up there with like the worst, isn't it?
It was funny. You're such a good dude, too, man.
That one, the weather one, without.
Which one?
When he said to Masvidal, like, has the cold weather in.
Are you asking me the weather?
Yeah, Mike.
I mean, to be fair, I remember when I first started dating, like, during the back and Team Mobile, and they were like bringing everyone back one by one. You know, when you're working, you can't really watch the fight until you put 2 grand.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but come back with the detective board completely filled out. To be fair, he really liked it.
Yeah.
You know, he like.
He's kidding.
No.
He's kidding. He's kidding.
What did he say?
Saw that one coming.
Oh, where's the next one?
Seriously.
Oh, you're behind. I think if you miss your spot, it's just canceled,
They
right?
should. I think, I think it's only fair to the others.
Let's remove if
John, these are the people you asked to take out.
I did actually ask them to take them out. They were like, "Who else would you like?" I'm like, "Who else?" I'm like, "Take them out."
Did they say no?
Yeah.
Why?
Dude, like Moreira's 0-2 in the UFC, and then Moreira's 0-3 in the UFC. It's like,
What?
like,
Where's all three?
and I actually asked me to play some with Schnell and Nam because they're actually fucking ranked on the groups.
Then they just
So they just added to it.
didn't take anyone else. So John actually made us have more work.
Thanks.
What if we all just like?
Back out 101.
we're gonna have Derek here the translator. So most of my questions are just like your guys' questions. Have the translator. I don't even ask anything. So.
You did
Questions in
No,
Portuguese.
Okay.
I think they're running my way for that. Yours is Kinnan.
What's that?
Yours is Kinnan. Kinnan.
Never heard. So I hitting mitts on the deck out there?
Yeah, Felder and Nick Sicker smashed it.
Sounds like
I was gonna go out there and tell Paul to.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't afford to buy food on this trip, so I got to take advantage of what I can.
It's very dark, yeah. Actually, there's not a lot. Yeah, it'll be alright, but very cool. It sounds good. Yeah. The what?
They don't have to. You asked for the older version.
He's like, that's all right. Okay.
I know the difference.
No.
He's like, I'll pop it. I'll pop it.
Yeah.
I was
I've been there.
Oh, Jesus. Amazing.
Taper down the reduction. Good. Just go there. Don't go and have a little look and see if we can find.
I will go back.
Well,
Moreira was at 6:15. Araujo was at 6:30. Silva de Andrade at 6:45. We're on 3 slots behind. Good.
we're here. Yeah,
The other night?
no, not the other night, but I mean, I think that might really do.
Probably.
Tell what no, this one. Not here, I mean, the background.
Ладно, что Морозов просто бой перенесли, может, из-за этого. Они как для них тоже не
Ну, а вот сейчас мы сидим, блядь.
Может, еще правда эти. Я думаю, все
Viviane. Alright.
You obviously had a big win back in September. I'm curious, kind of how much that meant to you, because you'd had that nice win streak and then the loss. What did that win mean to you?
O que significou a grande vitória que você teve em setembro? Você tinha vindo de derrota e conseguiu essa vitória? Como é que foi?
Sim, depois da derrota, né, contra a Jessica ali, eu treinei bastante, voltei para academia, treinei muito, voltei com outra cabeça, outra mentalidade e pude conquistar ali a vitória contra a Montana e fiquei muito feliz, né, pude dedicar a minha avó que faleceu por conta do Covid, então foi uma emoção muito grande e é isso.
Yeah, after losing to Jessica, I went back to the gym and kind of revisited everything, and thankfully we were able to get that win in September, and I dedicated that fight to my grandmother who ended up dying from COVID.
Good. How tough of a year was 2020 for you? Because I feel like 2019 was such a big, great year for you, and then you didn't get to, kind of move forward as much in 2020.
2020 foi um ano difícil para você, 2019 foi tão bom e talvez 2020 foi um pouco pior.
Sim, né, foi um pouco, a gente demorou a ter oportunidade de luta, né, eu lutei em dezembro, aí a minha outra luta foi só em setembro, e aí teve a morte da minha avó, então eu pude refletir bastante e crescer muito com toda a adversidade, mas foi um ano bom, eu conquistei uma vitória ali contra a Montana, então eu não tenho nada a reclamar, só agradecer.
Yeah, it wasn't as great. I fought in December 2019 and then waited until September. But, I took that time off to really grow and to put everything in perspective. And then I had my grandmother dying. So it was a rough year, but it was a good year.
I got to ask you about this fight, the matchup they gave you, a veteran. I mean, they seem to never give you any easy names whatsoever. So what did you think when they offered Roxanne?
O que você achou quando te ofereceram uma veterana, né? Você também nunca enfrentou ninguém de pouco renome.
Sim, fiquei muito feliz, né, de ter recebido a proposta de lutar contra a Roxanne. E... desculpa, estou um pouquinho nervosa. Contra a Roxanne. E até esqueci a pergunta. Foi mal.
O que você acha quando você recebeu a ligação que você ia lutar com a Roxanne? Um nome tão grande.
Sim, eu fiquei muito feliz com a oportunidade de lutar com a atleta tão experiente quanto a Roxanne, né? Eu que já lutei contra a Alexis Davis, peguei nomes grandes aí. E... é isso.
Yeah, I was really happy when I got the call to fight Roxanne. You know, I fought a lot of big names like Alexis Davis and just one more.
Yeah. And lastly, for me, I mean, give me an idea, because before the loss, I think people were already talking about you as a potential title contender. I mean, if you beat Roxanne Modaferri, do you feel like people should be talking about you in that position?
Antes da sua derrota, já estavam falando de você disputar o cinturão. Você acha que ganhando da Roxanne, você vai estar de volta ali no papo?
Sim, a gente está trabalhando para isso, né? Para conquistar posições no ranking e com certeza estar numa posição melhor ali, fazer 3 lutas esse ano, quem sabe 4, e já mirar, depois dessa luta contra a Roxanne, mirar o top 5, e é isso.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's our goal, is to keep moving forward in the rankings. And, you know, after fighting Roxanne and beating her, we'll start talking about facing a top 5 opponent.
Roxanne had, I think, 30 fights before you even made your professional debut. Were you a fan of her before you made your debut?
Ela tinha 30 lutas antes de você fazer a sua primeira luta. Você já era fã dela?
Eu não via as lutas da Roxanne, né? Não a conhecia muito bem. Mas... nossa, gente, desculpa. Foi mal. Não tô conseguindo...
Tranquilo.
Tá. Mas eu não acompanhava, né, as lutas dela. E agora eu fico muito feliz de estar lutando contra uma atleta tão experiente quanto ela.
I wasn't really following her career before or watching her fights necessarily, but I'm really happy to be able to face her right now.
And you had mentioned your grandmother passed from COVID. A lot of people in the United States right now think COVID is not real, or they think it's not a big deal. So what would you say to those individuals?
Sua avó faleceu de Covid e ele falou que tem muita gente nos Estados Unidos que acha que é mentira, que não existe. O que você diria para essas pessoas?
Que existe sim, que já afetou várias famílias, assim como a minha. A gente teve que ser forte, teve que superar essa perda tão grande, e para as pessoas terem mais empatia, né, umas com as outras, e é isso.
Yeah, it's real. You know, it's affected a lot of families, and we went through a rough period with that, and I think people need to have a little more empathy.
O que te deixa tão nervosa em entrevista assim?
Nossa, prefiro lutar 1000 vezes do que na entrevista. É sério, eu sou um pouco tímida, né? Então eu fico nervosa. Tô transpirando muito aqui.
I rather fight. I get really nervous and my palms are sweaty.
Yeah.
Desculpa voltar ao assunto da sua avó, né? Já que você mencionou no final da sua última luta. Como é que foi esse período de luto? Como é que você tá agora? E como é que ficou a sua família depois da perda da sua avó?
Então, foi um período difícil, né? Pegou a gente de surpresa, assim. E a minha avó é uma pessoa muito querida na família. Todo mundo sentiu muito a perda dela. Mas a gente teve que continuar, né? Eu tive que seguir minha vida. Então, foquei ainda mais na luta para dedicar a minha última vitória a ela e conseguir. E foi muito legal.
Going back to her grandmother and the grieving period and all that, and you know, she was a very loved person in the family. It was a really rough patch for us, but we had to keep focused and keep moving forward and really, you know, get down and put our minds in the right place.
Ainda pegando aqui um gancho aqui do que o meu colega aqui falou sobre muitas pessoas acharem que Covid não é uma coisa real. Lá no Brasil, eu acompanhei os meus amigos que estavam em festa, como se o mundo estivesse, né? Todo mundo tomou vacina e ninguém me avisou.
Sim.
Você teve amigos assim e você viu e achou também?
Sim, amigos próximos não, né? Assim, eu tenho a sorte de ter pessoas ao meu redor bastante conscientes sobre esse vírus, sobre tudo. Mas a gente acompanha ali nas redes sociais, né, e vê o descuido de muitas pessoas. Isso é lamentável.
The question about people just partying and acting like they've got a vaccine already, and And she said, I don't have close friends that are acting like that, but, we see on social media and people are just being reckless and, it's rough.
A minha última pergunta, você era para ter cruzado o caminho ali com a Jennifer Maia em algum momento, né?
Sim.
Você acha que vocês cruzam esse caminho esse ano ainda? Você ainda quer enfrentar?
Sim, e foi devido ao Covid, né? Ali eu peguei o Covid, infelizmente, aí a luta teve que ser cancelada contra a Jennifer. E creio sim que a gente pode se esbarrar ainda esse ano, quem sabe, né? Eu com essa vitória, vou mirar ali a top 5, então ela pode estar ali no meio.
And the question about fighting Jennifer Maia, we were supposed to fight and we didn't fight because of COVID, because I got COVID, but who knows, this year, maybe after I fight Roxanne, we might cross paths. Good.
Let her off the hook.
Cool.
Eu mesmo. Agora ele vai lá. Vou traduzir o que ele fala, não vai falar nada. What's up, guys? Man, how's that for this guy? 23-3. You know what I mean? 23 wins just two times. Last time he make the statement.
Welcome back. It's been a while. You give me the feeling right now that you're back.
Porra, bem-vindo. Faz muito tempo que ele não te vê. Say something, tell him, yes. Say something for him. Fala alguma coisa pra ele. Porra, tô bem,
Tô tranquilão, só quero ir pra guerra.
You know, I'm fine. I just wanna go to war.
How do you put up with this guy?
No, man, I gonna tell you. It's his time, you know what I mean? He's a very quiet guy. Have 26-3, just beat the four-man champion. Or he sell or he go home. Broke. That's simple.
So what was 2020 like? It's like you said,
26.
Had the big win over
20.
Yeah, so what was it like? I mean, he had the big win over Renan Barão and then didn't get to fight. What was it like for him?
You know, depois tu ganhou do Renan Barão, como é que foi do 2020 para você? Depois tu ganhou do Renan Barão, tu sumiu.
Então, essa loucura que foi esse ano aí, 2020, teve as situações, depois teve aquele fechamento das lutas de ir para os outros países. Logo em seguida a gente começou a correr atrás de novo aí, e agora que veio a clarear a luta de novo. Mas a gente vinha treinando, a gente vinha mantendo, mas foi isso.
You know, after he beat Renan Barão, is coming the COVID things, you know what I mean? Everything's closed, he need to take care of his family, he's keeping shape, you know what I mean? He all the time keeping shape, but now he focused, he's happy to be here, and now it's time to knock out on Wednesday and make the statement why he beat the four-man champion. And the UFC put a new guy, okay, we're gonna give his first defeat, and after that we want a top 10. He needed the respect, but for he need the respect, he know how to talk. He need to know. I told him this. You know what I mean? Then the days UFC is a business. You don't know how to sell, go home and cry.
So what did he think about the match? I know he's kind of a quiet guy, but what did he think? I mean, undefeated guy, which is nice, right? But as you said, not nearly as much experience. So what did he think about the matchup?
O que tu tá pensando do cara? Pegar um cara novo, que tem 8 lutas, que nunca perdeu. O que tu tá pensando dessa luta?
Na verdade, isso é mais motivador, isso é legal, é mais um gabarito bom para experiência. E é muito legal, quero sair para cima dele, fazer meu jogo, quero nocautear ele, quero pedir outra luta e quero fazer o ritmo.
You know, it's making me motivated, you know what I mean? Because it's new for me, like got a new guy, you know what I mean? I just want to go there, knock out him, and ask him for another fight. I don't want to wait for too long and asking for top 10. This is what I say, you know, he very motivated because of that. Because he knows UFC put this guy to test him. Very undefeated guy, think the guy's a big new star. Let's go see.
Nice. It's clear, Warlley, that you think he doesn't get the respect that he deserves. Do you feel like you don't get the respect
No,
that you
no.
deserve with the record?
I don't say that. I don't say that.
Does he feel like he doesn't get the respect that he deserves with that impressive career record?
Não, entendeu? Com esse com o recorde impressionante que você tem, você acha que você tinha um cara mais duro para lutar? Ou assim, um cara de mais nome? Que o UFC não te deu tanto respeito como você merece? O que tu sente?
A gente está aí para trabalhar, a gente vai com o que o evento coloca, o Ultimate coloca. Então, se é isso aí, mas agora eu quero ver uma outra situação, uma coisa diferente pelo que a gente já trabalhou, com quem a gente já lutou. Então, a gente está aí para fazer isso aí, no mínimo encarar um ranqueado. Então, aí para isso.
You know, UFC give to him this, it's fine. But the next, he focused to knock out him on Wednesday, make the statement who he is, and after that, he won a ranking guy. He don't want to fight anymore. The guy is not ranking because he has 26 wins, just 3 lost. And he lost the last time for the champion and beat the 4-man champion. Now is his time to shine. But okay, put this guy. You know what I mean? He's very motivated because now is the time to make the statement. Don't think I'm nobody. I'm the guy, have 26 wins and 3 lost.
Nice. Last thing for me, I mean, what is the goal this year? So you want to make a statement on Wednesday, and then what do you want to accomplish this year? I mean, can you be in the top 5? Do you want to fight 3, 4, 5 times? What's the goal for you this year?
Qual é o teu foco esse ano? É chegar no top 5? É lutar com um cara top 5? É ganhar desse cara e depois entrar no ranking realmente?
Sim, como vários outros atletas, a gente também está nesse planejamento. A gente está aí para trabalhar e ver o que acontece. Estamos aí para isso.
You know, yes, this is my goal. This year to work very hard, to go to the top 5, knock out everybody. This is what I want this year, to make the statement, put my name, porque now is the time.
Davidson Figueiredo became a big star last year by fighting very frequently. Like, he took a lot of high-level fights very close together. Is that important to you too, to fight as much as possible in 2021?
O Davidson, ano passado, lutou várias vezes no ano. Lutou 4 vezes. Isso é o que você quer fazer esse ano? Lutar várias vezes esse ano?
Boa, boa. Um exemplo legal, né? Nosso Davidson, meu amigo, inclusive. E é exatamente um exemplo bom aí a ser dito, a ser ditado. Graças a Deus deu para conciliar para ele bem, fazer esse ritmo, apesar desse ano todo que foi. Então, nossa ideia também é esse exemplo.
You know, yeah, great example you gave, because Davidson is my friend, and everything worked very well for him, and this is what I wanted this year. Fight many times I can, because now is my time in the 145 division.
Davidson also made a point to say how he was going to win and what round he was going to win. Do you have a prediction for your fight?
O Davidson sempre fala também qual é o round que ele vai ganhar, como ele vai ganhar e qual é a tua previsão para essa luta de quarta-feira.
Sim. A gente quer trabalhar aí e fazer o possível para poder ali no primeiro round ver como vai sentir a luta e poder buscar uma definição. Vamos sentir a luta e ver essa decisão.
No primeiro ou segundo round?
Mas em média do primeiro, mais tardar o segundo, a gente quer executar.
You know, he's gonna feel his opponent in the first round, but his opponent not fight well. He's gonna knock out in the first, but he really thinks he's gonna knock out in the second round.
And final one, do you think learning English will benefit your career moving forward?
Você pensa que aprender inglês vai beneficiar a tua carreira?
Sim, claro, exatamente. É de suma importância.
Yes, exactly. This is most important right now. I learn English. No doubt about it.
Esse tempo fora do octógono atrapalhou um pouco seus planos? Como é que você continua treinando e como é que você está preparado agora para essa luta?
Não, na verdade, isso é tranquilo, isso é relativo, acredito que de cada um, de cada atleta. A cabeça sempre se manteve boa, apesar de tudo que veio a ocorrer nesse ano aí que passou. Mas tá tranquilo, a gente já houve exemplos maiores até, que passou mais tempo por conta de lesões graves. Podemos superar, recuperar, e fomos lá e fomos com tudo, que foi na época que houve isso. E agora tá tranquilo, graças a Deus.
Minha última pergunta, você vem do mesmo estado do Davidson, do Michel Pereira. Você acha que ali o Pará é a nova bolha dos melhores atletas do Brasil?
Com toda certeza, né? Pará é um espelho e fico feliz de ter ali, de ser dali, de ser ali daquela range, né? Então, poxa, é sensacional o nosso Pará, graças a Deus aí.
O que Pará tem que o resto do Brasil não tem? Como é que você
Ah,
tem talento lá?
eles têm que tomar muito açaí, né? Açaí raiz mesmo, entendeu? Que aí vai ajeitar as coisas.
Minha última pergunta, na verdade, o marido já te levou nas lojas aí na Gucci, na Louis Vuitton, para gastar um pouco de dinheiro?
Ah, não, ainda na verdade estamos num processo de peso, estamos trabalhando ainda, a gente está mais por aqui mesmo, no hotel, quarto, né? A gente não está saindo.
Anybody else?
What have you made of Lerone's performances in his 2 fights in the UFC?
Can you repeat? Sorry, my bad.
What has he made of Lerone's performances in his 2 fights in the UFC?
O que você achou do Lerone, a performance do Lerone nessas últimas 2 lutas no UFC?
Ele lutou bem, lutou muito bem, um grande atleta, né? Um cara que é perigoso tanto em pé como no chão. Eu achei muito boa as performances dele, até acompanhei. Boa performance.
Yeah, it was a great performance. He's very good on the stand up, on the ground. He followed his career. He saw his fights. He's a pretty good. Yes.
Where do you see yourself this time next year?
Onde ele se encontra nesse momento, agora nesse momento, mais ano que vem, daqui a um ano?
Como você acha que você vai estar hoje? Como você vai estar hoje? Como se fosse daqui a um ano.
Bom, a gente só pensa positivo, e eu espero estar bem melhor que agora sempre, mas o principal, com saúde, podendo manter o que a gente faz, que é trabalhar, treinar e lutar.
You know, he's a very positive guy. You want to be healthy, and keep working, keep knock out the guys. This year is the year for him shine.
Quantas lutas ele vai querer fazer esse ano?
How many fights you wanna do this? Quantas lutas tu quer fazer esse ano?
Que a gente...
Crazy.
Que a gente possa executar o máximo que a gente
3.
puder. E em média 3. Se puder
3
executar
fights
mais.
this year. You wanna fight 3, 4 fights maximum. Because I say 3, I say, a little bit more. I say 3, 4. No more than 4. Okay, guys. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Let's go. No, man, this kid is unbelievable. But...
Esse cara do Davidson. Eu não tava achando que era o Davidson.
Acabou, tô tudo igual.
Here's what Tyson did.
Like, no, I was leaving.
I think it is off.
Yeah. Impressive little run going right now, right? How does it feel to kind of have this little win streak after the setbacks that you had?
Feels real good, you know. First 2, little bit of what I didn't want to do, and now my last 2 is what I'm actually capable of doing.
What's the difference in it? I mean, is it a mindset thing or a tactics thing? Like, what's been the difference between the first 2 and the last 2?
I think COVID happened, so I was laid off of my job. So all I do now is actually train. Was the first time since March that I actually just trained full time, and I feel like it's really been paying dividends.
Was that scary though to get laid off from your job, or?
No, I felt like I can always, you know, it's just coaching, personal training at the UFC gym in Hawaii. So, you know, I work UFC, I train UFC, I fight UFC. UFC is life.
I dig it. So this matchup, I mean, it's been planned a couple of times, right? I mean, so when they keep coming back to you with it, it's a matchup that you wanted to see come together, or do you start saying, I'm tired of hearing this name?
I definitely wanted this matchup. That's the reason why I called for it. You know, it's just an exciting fight all the way from start to finish, no matter how I picture it. So, I'm excited. I'm sure Matt's excited, and the fans should be excited as well.
Yeah, as you said on paper, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Were you surprised at all that's on the prelims of the card? It felt like a kind of a main card matchup.
I think that it's a second fight on the main card, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, the last time we saw it was well, good.
Yeah, I believe so. Don't quote me, but I believe I'm the second fight now on the main.
It deserves to be if it's not for sure. So talk to me. What do you think this means? I mean, as you said, you guys are two kind of established competitors in the division. I mean, are you thinking about rankings and positioning and what this gets you?
Yeah, for sure. Matt, I believe he's ranked number 9, and I believe the UFC ranked me at number 13. So with a win over Matt, that should put me in the top 10. After that, I feel like with a third knockout in a row, maybe I feel like I could call somebody out that's top 5.
It's interesting because you took such a long path to get here, right? I mean, if you could change things, would you have been here sooner, or did you need kind of that seasoning to get to where you are now?
Yeah, I always feel that my entire life I've always been a late bloomer. So it is not a surprise that I had to bloom a little bit later in this career as well. I don't know, 13 some odd years. I'm not no mathematician to get to the UFC, but I think it's something that that a lot of people don't usually see coming into their later 30s coming into the UFC, as myself.
As the last thing for me, what kind of fight do you anticipate this to be? Because as on paper, it looks like it's a lot of fun. It seems like, to me, it looks like it'd be a fight of the night type fight, but you also have the ability to end fights and be a performance of the night type fight. So what kind are you prepping for?
Fireworks right from the start. I feel like we're gonna meet up in the middle, and hands and punches and kicks are gonna go flying, and someone's gonna end up knocked out. I'm a finisher, Matt's a finisher. I like knocking people out, but if I don't knock him out, I live and die by the sword. I'm knocking him out, or I'd rather myself get finished as well. It don't matter. It's for the fans.
Any part of you disappointed you didn't get that Benavidez fight? Or do you think you can get that next?
I want to fight everybody. I'm not disappointed at all. I'm sure that if things do play out, maybe I can fight him later on. I know that right now he does have a date with Askarov, so I'm gonna have to look down the line to see if I can call somebody else out.
You had touched briefly on I feel like just yesterday I think your phrasing was like I was fighting for a pink slip possibly. Now you're on a 2-fight win streak and possibly fighting the top 5. So how important is it not to get ahead of yourself and just being in that moment right there?
At this point in my career, man, my back is against the wall. I'm 37 years young, but I still feel like I'm kind of going into my prime. I mean, everything still works good, feels good. God damn, I look good. So yeah, every fight for the UFC is a blessing, and I feel like I'm still getting better, and just a surprise is coming up.
So even on a 2-fight win streak, you still feel like your back is to the wall?
Yeah. I'm not the biggest superstar just yet in the UFC, so I feel like I'm very expendable, but my fighting style, it's exciting. I feel like it's a fan pleaser, but we're all expendable.
And then speaking of fan pleasing, what did you make of the title fight last month?
Oh man, that was Moreno, Figueiredo, man, those are two animals just going at it for 25 minutes. They just punch each other silly, and it really showed the fans, the world, that the flyweight division is a division that should be displayed.
Do you think it was a draw?
Yeah, I mean, I would have gave it to Figueiredo. I mean, by like a hair, but I have no problems with the decision that the judges gave.
So how do you think the rematch goes?
Rematch goes. I feel like it still goes to Figueiredo. Just everything about him, he's just strong. You know, his striking, his grappling, and I feel like he'll be a lot smarter with his weight cuts, kind of going up into it. So everything around it, I mean, I feel like he should be better.
And he became a big star last year by just fighting very frequently between fights. Is that something that you think fighters should mimic, especially in this day and age where you just have to be ready all the time?
When I started, we fought for fun. You know, it didn't matter if they called us 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. I feel like, I feel like it's something that has been lost over the past few years, decades, that, you know, when someone calls to fight, you should be ready to fight no matter what.
Awesome. Thanks, sir.
Thanks, guys.
So, I say one thing. My English is very bad, but you know my English.
He says that in English.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I try speaking, so really, no smile on me.
You said all that in English.
How are you learning English? Are you taking lessons or just speaking?
Fazendo aula.
No, yeah, I romper my biceps, I think. I'm stopped 6 months. I'm practicing English, and pandemic broke my legs, man. Really.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Well, talk about 2020. What was it like for you? I mean, you didn't get to compete, right? So how tough of a year was it for you?
I say I romper my biceps. I 6 months stop, and is como é que se fala, mexeu a cabeça?
Mess with my head.
Messes my head, but I think God good anytime. I'm preparing my head for the next step. I'm continue focus, and because this is my life, man. I know this is so long for me, but I'm born to champion, bro. I'm fight with the best guys of the division. I'm fight with Colby Covington. I'm fight with Usman. I'm fight with never. I'm fight with como é que fala, cara fraco?
Weak guys, easy guys.
Easy guys, never. I know that. I'm. This is moment in my life is everything different, because I'm focusing my work. I am in UFC with 23 years, and had 7 years working here. Is many things different for me today. I have one wife. Is a change my life. Is a change my mind. For I see many things. I training with the best guys of sport. I'm training with Anderson Silva. For me, is the best. Really, is a terrible guy, because he's doing nobody do again. Yeah, for me is amazing. Today I training with Pedro Rizzo. Pedro Rizzo, best strikes of the world in the no seu momento, como é que se fala no seu momento?
At his time.
This has time. So many things different in my mind. I lost my way, but I'm back. Really, will go the champion UFC. I don't have idea with time, but God called me for this. My Lord bless me every day for run for my dream.
You talked about your time in the UFC. I think you just turned 30, right? You just celebrated a birthday. I wondered if maybe that changed your mind a little bit. Like, I'm not in my 20s. I'm not a kid anymore. Like, now I have to deliver.
Só traduz.
Você fez 30 anos, você acha que isso mudou tua cabeça também? Você não é mais jovem, você tem que mostrar mesmo.
Yes. I'm thinking more 10 years because science is very advanced. Yes, okay. Science is very advanced. In today, Glover Teixeira has 42 years. I know I have more 10 years, easy, more 10 years. But because in UFC 23 years, I'm seeing many things. Como é que se fala? Como é que eu falaria? Eu deixei tanta coisa passar e não percebi que isso passou e quero correr atrás disso de novo, quero estar 100% agora.
I let a lot of things like fall through the cracks or get past me, and I want to chase those things back again.
He say.
Last thing for me, talk to me about this matchup with Mounir. He's kind of a new fighter in the UFC. So, as you said, you've been around. When you see him, is he one of those top level fighters, or do you think he's maybe not?
Yes, man. Yes, I'm so great because I need top. I need top. I need fight with como é que se fala, cara duro?
Tough guys.
Tough guys. I need fight tough guys because just there I want to be champion, man. Yeah, I need the best division. I'm fight with. I'm saying for you now, here. This is Mounir Lazzez is a very tough guy. Yeah, I'm feel so happy because this prove of the world. I'm ready. I'm ready for 15. I'm ready for 10. I'm ready for 5, top 5. I'm ready for any guy. This is a back for the my way. I lost my way, but I'm back. I'm back. I'm feel so happy because that's.
I recently read an interview you did where you said you wanted to change yourself from a mediocre fighter during your time off. What exactly did you mean by that?
Ele falou que viu uma entrevista tua que você queria mudar e não ser lutador medíocre nesse tempo fora.
Yes, man. What we're gonna say? Mediocre, como é que se fala mediocre?
Mediocre.
Mediocre is no, como é que se fala xingamento?
It's not, he's not cussing himself. He's not like saying something bad.
This is normal. This is guy normal. But like genius with Anderson Silva, with John Jones, with many guys do more. Mais do que se esperam.
More than expected.
More than expected. I broke expected everyone. I won this. I prove. So hey, everybody do this, but I'm do different. This I want show no não de uma forma não de uma forma feia, não de uma forma banal, não de uma forma comum. Eu quero realmente chocar, eu quero entrar lá e nocautear todo mundo.
Yeah, I want to do it in a way that's not usual. I want to go in there and get knockouts and shock everyone.
Then Mounir was in here earlier, and we asked him to break down your skills, and he said you were tough and you had a really good guillotine. Does he do anything specifically well?
Ele falou mais cedo que você é muito duro e que você tem uma guilhotina muito boa. O que você vê nele?
Eu vejo ele, I see him is a tough guy because he's so many arms. He's kicking, he's punching, his knee, he's man, he's everything striker he's have. So that's is a first fight with public.
Mm-hmm.
It's a first fight with public. There's a public is go ahead we go ahead because really this is maybe one the best fight of the year. I'm hoping that I'm know is never give up. I never give up. This is amazing. I'm so excited now because I want this. I want tough guy. I want fight with tough guy.
Você mencionou que você tinha sofrido uma série de lesões, né, nos últimos 2 anos. Como foi a recuperação e se você ainda está em fase de recuperação de alguma delas? Pode responder em português para mim.
Ah, graças a Deus. Eu vou lhe falar. Brincadeira. Então, eu realmente sofri muitas lesões. Eu tive um rompimento no bíceps muito severo. Foi uma lesão total, não foi nem parcial, foi total. Eu fui dar um soco na cara do coleguinha, ele foi defender o cruzado, eu bati com o bíceps no cotovelo, meu bíceps subiu na hora, eu fiquei desesperado porque eu tinha feito a primeira luta do meu contrato novo e infelizmente tive uma derrota por uma ocasião de segundos. Se vocês repararem no vídeo lá, mas enfim, não quero ficar falando de derrotas. Eu fiquei muito mexido com tudo isso, realmente fiquei preocupado porque a grana ela precisou ser racionada, porque assim, graças a Deus nunca faltou nada, mas a gente teve que passar por momentos de privações para conseguir tá chegando aqui com a mente preocupada em lutar e não fazer isso por dinheiro, porque eu acho que o primeiro passo da derrota é quando você faz isso aqui por dinheiro. A gente sofre muito para perder peso, a gente sofre muito nos treinamentos, apanha muito, e tem uma equipe que realmente se preocupa com a gente para a gente chegar aqui e resumir tudo isso a dinheiro. Na verdade, isso aqui é um sonho e eu tô aqui para conquistar meu sonho, para fazer, passar a mensagem que eu tenho, para passar dentro do octagon, que são os meus princípios, meus valores, aquilo que eu acredito. E mediante tudo isso realmente mexeu muito com a minha cabeça. Eu realmente tive lesões muito graves, tive o pé, tive o bíceps, tive costelas, tive mão, tive coisas que eu tive que consertar nesses 6 meses. E graças a Deus deu para consertar isso e ainda zerar uns jogos no videogame.
So talking about the injuries, I had a total tear in my bicep. I threw a hook and my training partner blocked it and my bicep just moved up. I freaked out and, it was a rough year. There was no money coming in, so we had to kind of live on a budget. But, I think the first step to being defeated in this sport is doing it for the money. So, I just really had to get my mind in the right place and recover from that injury. And then I had a foot injury and ribs and everything else. So I really want to come in here and show what I can do and my worth.
Receber a ligação para essa luta, né, para entrar, né, meio que talvez de última hora, você estava preparado já, esperando essa ligação, esse telefone tocar para você lutar de novo?
Então, a gente tinha planejado para realmente estar lutando em janeiro, fevereiro. E já tinha conversado com o meu manager, Gilberto fez um excelente trabalho arrumando essa luta pra gente. A princípio seria dia 16, amanhã, só que pelo fato de que o adversário se machucou, eles acabaram trocando e talvez a gente também pediu um pouquinho mais de tempo, e acho que eles também pediram para poder bater o peso e tudo mais, porque é uma situação diferente, a gente não tem aquela sauna, acostumada a ter aquela sauna. Eu acho que muitos atletas quando vêm para cá, eles acham que eles se iludem que vão conseguir bater o peso, só que tem que ter um trabalho mais severo para poder bater esse peso. Muitos atletas eu vi que realmente, eu não sei se eu estou sendo leviano em falar isso, mas muitos atletas não bateram o peso devido à dificuldade da adaptação com a pandemia. Então a gente está fazendo um trabalho mais easy para poder realmente chegar aqui, bater o peso bem, chegar lá forte na luta e representar da melhor forma. Estava esperando muito essa ligação, realmente isso é o que eu queria estar de volta nesse caminho e graças a Deus eu estou aqui, estou feliz e assim, está sendo muito bom conhecer ele da luta, nessa nova fase da minha vida, agora um homem já mais velho, com 30 anos, eu estou muito feliz e eu sei que daqui para frente vai ser um show.
Yeah, we were expecting to fight in January, February. My manager did a great job getting this fight booked. We were originally supposed to fight tomorrow on the 16th, but there's a few things that my opponent needed more time. I needed more time, and I think that with the pandemic, a lot of people had a hard time making weight, and we don't have the sauna right now, so there's a lot of things that go into that. So we wanted to make sure that I could come in and make weight well, and I really wanted to be here in Fight Island too.
Você mencionou o Anderson Silva aí 2 vezes, mas nessa entrevista aqui agora, o que você achou da última luta dele?
Como é que eu vou falar? O Anderson, a gente sempre espera tudo dele. E assim, ele só perde quem ganha. Sempre só perde quem luta. Acho que toda luta, independente se você for lutar com o Manel da esquina ou com o John Jones, que hoje na atualidade é o cara mais terrível do UFC, é 50% de chance para cada um. A luta se ganha com um soco, com um chute bem dado, enfim. E ver da forma que o Anderson deixou o esporte, mediante tudo que ele fez, é triste pro cara que realmente acompanhou a carreira dele e viu o quanto ele foi magnífico, quanto ele deveria, para mim, ser um hall da fama, com certeza. E fiquei muito triste com o final da luta, mas da mesma forma eu fiquei feliz de ver que ele se empenhou da melhor forma, ele deu o seu melhor e chegou lá e fez o que muitos talvez não teriam coragem de fazer. Com 47 anos, está lutando em alto rendimento, isso não é para qualquer um.
Regarding Anderson's last fight, and what can I say about Anderson? Really, for you to lose a fight, you have to go in there and fight a fight. So regardless if it's the guy in his corner or if it's John Jones, when you get in there, it's 50-50 chance, and if you follow Anderson's career, he's just an amazing fighter. He definitely should be in the Hall of Fame, and to be able to do what he did at 45, 46 years old, it's amazing, and you got to take your hat off. He's always gone above and beyond and been an incredible fighter.
Minha última pergunta, eu li uma entrevista sua que você fala bastante do Lerone Barcelos e como você acredita que ele vai ser o próximo, ou num futuro próximo, um campeão dos galos. O que te faz acreditar que ele vai ser um campeão?
Sabe o Max Steel? O Max Steel, da galera da década de 90? Então, Max Steel é aquele desenho que passava lá no Brasil. A gente tinha TV Globinho e passava o Max Steel, um boneco que a gente comprava quando era criança e tal. E esse boneco, você vai entender por que eu tô fazendo essa referência. Esse boneco tinha um relógio que ele ajeitava 100% do poder dele. O Raoni é o tipo de cara que é o Max Steel das artes marciais. Tudo ele faz com excelência. Ele bota bem para baixo, ele troca bem porrada, ele tem uma cabeça muito boa, é motivado e, detalhe, não cansa. Ele não cansa. Ele, para mim, parece tinha que ser estudado. Ele é um rato de laboratório que deveria literalmente ser estudado, porque eu nunca vi aquilo. A gente tem um treino chama de Shark Tank, que são 5 contra 1, e assim, é 1 a cada minuto. Você fica no meio, o sparring de luvinha, é uma luva mais acolchoada, de caneleira, joelheira, cotoveleira, e ele faz com um, aí em 1 minuto troca, vem outro que está novo. A gente faz isso na academia, e ele é o único cara que consegue fazer isso batendo em todo mundo. Todo mundo só consegue fazer isso batendo nos outros. Eu fico no meio, eu consigo resistir até o primeiro round, meado do segundo round. O Raoni faz isso nos 4 rounds, porque lá a gente sempre bota um round a mais. Então, assim, o Raoni é um monstro. Ele vai ser o próximo campeão. Não tem por que estar aqui, não tem por que estar ligando cedo para ele, porque ele é um amigo de treino normal. É porque realmente ele é incrível. Ele faz coisas que, assim, eu me espelho muito nele e sei que ele tá com sede e ele vai ser campeão dessa divisão, tenho certeza disso.
Talking about Raoni Barcelos and believing that he's going to be the bantamweight champion one day, and he's a guy that was like a character in a cartoon back in the day. That he could manage the amount of strength and his superpowers, and Raoni's a guy that he's got great striking, he's got great takedowns, he's got cardio that's just insane, and he needs to be studied. He's like a lab rat. He's just something out of the ordinary, and there's this training in the gym which is 5 guys against one, pretty much 1 minute for each one. And Raoni's the only guy that can go, all 4 rounds. I can go 2 rounds, 2.5 rounds, but we always do one more round, and Raoni just goes above and beyond. And he's a guy that really inspires me.
Como que você vê, então, uma competição, uma luta entre o Peter Yan e o Raoni? Lembrando que o Peter já treinou na Nova União, né?
Yes.
Não podemos deixar de mencionar isso, mas como é que você vê, então, Raoni versus Peter Yan em algum momento, se o Peter continuar como campeão?
Então, se o Peter continuar como campeão, o que o Peter fizer, o Raoni faz. E se ficar um caminho difícil, o Raoni vai por outro caminho e vai ganhar a luta. Acho que ganhando do Rafael Assunção, acho que lutas que eu queria ver o Raoni lutar como fã, espectador, seria contra o Dillashaw, contra o Cody Garbrandt, porque eles realmente são caras que vão deixar o Raoni mostrar realmente quem ele é. E o Raoni é um monstro. E ele vai provar isso para vocês.
About fighting Peter Yan one day, if Peter Yan is still the champion, and I think Raoni has everything to beat him, and if Peter Yan goes down one way and Raoni can find another way to win, and I'd really like to see him fight Cody Garbrandt or Dillashaw, and I think those guys are really going to make Raoni really excel and show why he's here.
Sure.
Really pleasure for me, guys. Thank you. Sorry for my English. Next time better.
Good.
Obrigado, querido. Valeu.
You good, brother?
You're fine. You good, brother?
Obviously, haven't had the start to your UFC run.
Oh,
I'm sure you planned out and dreamed of. So, I mean, what has it been like for you so far in your UFC career?
Man, flush it down to 2020. Kills 2020. Scrap it. It's time to bounce back. Started off 2021, coming on halfway across the world for this win. So, hey, man, we're ready for it, and I'm excited to put on the show, man. It's time to go.
Is that like a typical mental strategy for you? I mean, do you have to think about, is it tough? I mean, because I imagine it's easy to get kind of down on yourself or whatever, right?
Yeah, I mean, some fighters, they take those losses and it really haunts their career because they can't bounce back from that. Hey, man, you got to flush it, man. I played ball all my life, football. So, hey, man, next play, you can't hold, lose it. Short-term memory, man. Hey, you have a bad play, make up the next play. So that's my good. That's been my life, man. I'm a blue-collar guy, man. Hard work will pay off. So, hey, man, keep grinding daily. So here we go. Let's go.
Very nice. So they brought you this matchup and starting out early. What were your thoughts on it?
Oh, man, so Jason House, he gave me this matchup back in October, man. McMahon, they took care of me with this, and gave me a full fight camp. I was excited, man, ready to bounce back because that's them two L's. It was just, man, that was a hard pill to swallow. So, hey, man, shook it off, and I'm excited. Full fight camp. Everybody back home gave me good work, man. I couldn't get back to Extreme Couture like I wanted to because of COVID, but, man, we got good work back home with Cuba Perez, everybody at Main Street, and 4-ounce Fight Club with Dan Pineda.
Nice. Was that kind of like a key to you, right, to be able to get a full fight camp and to be able to, I'm sure you were like, anybody, anytime, anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, was that kind of the strategy that you guys all talked about?
Yeah, because, UFC, it's the league. It's top-notch here. You got to have a strong game plan. You better stick to it. I mean, when you start fighting these guys on short notice, hey, man, I got a puncher's chance. Here we go. That's all it is. You don't know what you're getting into. And we had a chance to train daily on everything this guy has. I mean, we know it's a classic, striker versus grappler, man. He's coming out Frankenstein trying to look for that takedown, and my job is to stop it and put my hands in his face, man. So I'm tired of looking at this guy, man. You see him every day. You're like, man, then you get everybody on these Twitters. Oh, man, Ike don't belong here. Hey, man, well, I'm going to shut him up coming up Wednesday night, man. I belong here, and I'm going to show you, man, because Chase Watson tested positive. They held that for 6 months from me. Hey, man, He won. Hey, but you guys stay clean, man. Same thing. I had Jordan Gonzalez. I was excited for that matchup. Then it turns out he popped. I'm like, it was just he popped for more than one, and that's just crazy, man. Because we gotta be on the same page. You saw this, man. They test. I mean, it's crazy back in Texas how much they test us. You're like, man, okay, now I finally got a clear playing field. Let's go to work, man.
I like it. So obviously the goal here is to win, but as you said, I mean, is it about proving like the doubters wrong, or is it about proving something to yourself too, to know that hey, I am the guy I thought I am?
It's me. It's all about me. I care less about anybody else. It's what I do, me, my family. That's all I care about, man. I got sons I'm raising back home, and I want to show them. I tell them hard work pays off, and all that time I missed from them. Hey, man, I'm about to put on a show, man. I had a gift right after my loss, August 22nd. My daughter was born the 23rd. I was driving back from Vegas, and my wife went into labor. So I got to witness that on my phone, and that's kind of my feed, man. Gianna, that's like, she was, I don't know, it was like born fire, relit that fire in me, and that was amazing. I'm upset I missed her birth, but now, hey, I go take it on Moreira Wednesday night.
Was there any thought of not taking that fight, knowing it was that close to the birth?
No, man, because my wife was due, and they told me September 13th my wife was going to be due. And after that fight, the cut, I guess the baby couldn't hold it no more. She, I think I needed that because that's, I totally forgot about the fight. After my daughter was born, it's like she was, man, it relit me. I mean, cutting all this, the doctor took care of me, but that, man, short term memory. I didn't stop thinking about the fight, man, because I had something to look forward to and something somebody to make proud, make her daddy proud. So hey, man, I'm doing this for her. Come Wednesday night.
Nice. Last thing for me, give me what type of fight we're going to see here. I mean, is this? I know you like to go in and brawl a little bit. I mean, is this going to be a brawl, or is you going to change things?
Look here, man. We're in Abu Dhabi, halfway across the world. There's fans. I'm ready to put on a show, man. I ain't gonna BS the crowd. They coming to pay the ticket, dealing with the COVID, man. I've been holding back. Yeah, I gotta show the world I belong here. So here we go, man. I'm gonna put on a show. I'll get this guy out of there quick. Yeah, that's it.
You had mentioned like seeing everything on Twitter and seeing because you're tired of seeing his face and everything. Does that benefit you? Like those thoughts, like I just want to destroy this guy right now.
Yeah, but you can't. You still gotta be a fighter, man. He's here for a reason. You go in there trying to knock somebody's head off. You go look for that knockout. You be looking on nice. So I'm gonna set it up, and he's like, "Hey, man, just reel him in, man. He's coming into my alley, and I'm gonna make him pay when he comes in." So, but yeah, all that stuff you see, you got to fuel your fire, but hey, don't overdo it. Don't fight off emotions, because raw emotions will get you beat. Because it happens all the time. You see the best sometimes lose off that. So hey, man, I'm a veteran. So I know what to expect, and I look forward to really showing what I'm about.
And I think you have one of the unique positions where you fought on the Jacksonville cards, the Apex cards, and now on Fight Island.
Yeah.
So how does this compare to the other two?
Man, Jacksonville was amazing because that was the first time there. But having the crowd there, now it's like really, man, I'm in the UFC now because there's fans here. We don't get the media workout days. Like we seen like team of Derek Lewis, he had all that where everybody's around him. You're like, no, we don't get that. But it's still having fans, and man, you get – my music starts playing, and I just click that switch, and I feed off the crowd. And once you hear them chants and cheers, because man, fighting back at home with just the press there, man, that was hard. That's like a sparring match. I need that crowd for the people with anxiety. They can fight with no crowd. Me, I'm a Mexican from Texas. Turn the music on. Let's party, baby.
Fans, like, there's supposed to be a limited number of fans in these fights. Does that mean you're going to try to fight here more often? If that means fans,
hey man, if I got to come all the way back out here, man, the way they're treating us here is amazing, man. Everybody at the W Hotel is amazing. Everybody at UFC here, man, it's a man 5-star all the way across. I'm very thankful and blessed to be here, and it's been very thankful, man.
So growing up Mexican in Texas, you ever envision yourself in Abu Dhabi?
Oh man, never, man. But it's crazy because I tell everybody back home, man. Only way a Mexican comes to Abu Dhabi is to work, and here I am working. So man, I tell my wife that she about to spit her coffee out. She goes, "You're crazy." I said, "But I'm very. You put a microphone in front of me. I'm very vocal, and hey man, I'm the life of the party. So man, I'm looking to put on a show, and hey man, get my career going right in UFC, man. I'm excited."
Cool.
All right, brother. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
It's true.
It's still the
What's going on?
Look at all these microphones. Jeez. This guy. What's up, y'all? Mike.
What's going on?
How are you? Doing good? Johnny?
Been a while.
Law and order? Law and order in the house? What's up?
Reunited in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
What's the feeling like, man? I mean, obviously you've been out here to work and to commentate, but now you're out here to fight. What's the feel?
It feels good. It's crazy that in like a 12-month span, this is my third time in Abu Dhabi, and for each time it's been for like a different role. The first time I came out here, I cornered my teammate at a UAE Warriors event. Then I came out here as an analyst for the last stint on Fight Island, and then now I'm here as a competitor. So this place is like becoming my second home, but the hospitality is great. And it's cool to come here and compete, especially when you get to come here and get a feel. You know, I got to go behind the scenes and kind of see how things were at the Flash Forum. And I know we're not there. We're going to be at the new arena. But I love the environment. It's a good place to have a fight week. It's good here. It's good to be here and have my whole team along for the ride. So I'm very excited for the 20th.
I was going to ask, I mean, does the familiarity like help out a little bit? I mean, I got to think, you know, there's always some anxiety. There's always some nerves when you're in a big spot like this. Does being so familiar with the place like help out?
Yes and no. I mean, it's always fun going to a new place, and like going into the unknown always makes fight weeks exciting. You know, it's not like, you know, a place like Raleigh, North Carolina can be exciting when you've never been there. You know what I mean? Or just any place that you've never been before. But it's definitely cool to come out here and get a feel. And, you know, I can definitely say that last stint on Fight Island being here, I definitely was like, wow, I would like to have a fight week here. Like I've never fought internationally. So this is my first time fighting abroad. And I like the idea of coming here and having a fight week. I mean, who doesn't want to have a fight week at this hotel? I mean, this place is unreal. So it's so cool to be here and have my boys along for the ride. Last time I was by myself. Last time I had like the end of the hall suite. I was just all by myself all the time. I'm like, nah, I got a nice suite. We got a few rooms. I got my boys with me. You know, my coach and my teammates, they're my best friends. So it's cool to go on this journey and bring your best friends along for the ride.
Overall, like, how would you describe the last year? Because I feel like, you know, you were riding this momentum and you had to put everything on hold, right? But I mean, I guess it's the right thing to do, right? It's the mature decision, whereas maybe you wouldn't have done that in the past. So how would you describe the past year?
The past year was challenging. I mean, I got the biggest win of my career, January 25th, 2020. And just things, you know, I had surgery, the pandemic hits. It got very challenging from a professional standpoint. And like when the gyms are closed and you're sidelined with an injury, seems like there's no light in sight, you know what I mean? And things really shaped up the second half of the year. UFC, I'm very thankful that they put me in the spot they put me in as an analyst, kept me busy, got my mind back in it, and I started to see the light again, and I started to recover well from the surgery. And now I'm here and I'm healthier than I've ever been going into a fight. It's so cliche for a guy to be like, I had the best camp of my life, you know, like, fuck, how many times have you guys heard that? You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, this is the healthiest I've been going into a fight, I can honestly say, in my whole UFC career. You know, this injury that I had to address had been something I've been dealing with since I was like 16 years old. And it just kept getting worse and worse. And now it's behind me. Now I'm healthy. I'm not dragging my leg behind me. And I'm very healthy. And so, you know, it was a very challenging year, but challenging times make strong people. So I'm glad I was able to get through it. And now we're here. So, you know, looking back on it, I'm thankful I went through all that.
Yeah, last thing for me, I mean, this was already a big fight, right? I mean, it's a proven, you know, commodity, a contender. I mean, but when you get elevated to the main event, do you think that means that the payoff on the other side will be grander? Like you'll take a bigger step up in the rankings you'll be offered because it's a main event fight?
Yeah, 100%. You know, when you have the more spotlight on you, the better, you know, and it's like, it kind of starts from the bottom of the card and goes its way up to the top. Like, you know, just to be in the UFC and be like on the early prelims, that's great. And then when you're headlining the prelims, it's like, okay, that's cool. I'm getting more exposure. You make the main card. All right, I'm getting the push. Co-main event, main event. You know, it kind of starts from the bottom and works its way to the top. And so it's good to be in this spot, you know, and me and Neil were both very deserving guys. You know, he's been so active last year. I mean, he went 3-0, 3 big wins, capped it off, beating Robbie Lawler, former champion. But this fight makes a lot of sense when you look at it. Like, we're both on 3-fight win streaks. Both of our last wins were against former world champions. It's a fight that makes sense, and I feel like we both deserve the push. and may the best man win. You know, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm excited for my second headlining spot in the UFC on ESPN. It's like, you got to pinch yourself, man. It seems like it's a dream, but you know, I'm ready to seize this opportunity and make it mine and get my hand raised.
I asked Neil yesterday how he saw the fight going. He came out and said, he wants to put so much pressure on you that he reconsider fighting period again, and maybe just move full time to broadcasting and all that kind of stuff. What do you make of that?
I think about that before every fight. So I'd be a liar if every fight I've had in my entire career, going back to my amateur days, I've always been like, you know, it's intense pressure. You know, this is a pressure cooker situation. So, you know, I'll probably be thinking that on fight night. You know, he's not wrong. But when does Neil not want to put a tremendous amount of pressure on his opponents and try and get him to break? I mean, that's what he wants to do to every guy, and that's fine. You know what I mean? But don't worry, I already do it to myself, man. Like when I fought my first amateur fight, I built fence, I did construction, and I remember warming up in the back. And this is first week of June 2008. I'm warming up in the back of the Smoky Club and my coach's amateur show, and he's in the back there. And I'm thinking, fuck, I don't know if I want to do this anymore, man. My construction job's not that bad. I mean, I'm doing this for free. This is crazy, you know? So every fight you put yourself in that situation, but dude, you know, you got to face your fears and go out and fight. You know, that's how you build character. So, yeah, man, to me, it's irrelevant. So, you know, it's good that whatever you got to tell yourself to hype you up to go out and compete, do it. You know what I mean? But I already put in, there's no, you know, physically, I know he's going to put a lot of pressure on me, but from a mental standpoint, nobody puts more pressure on me than I put on myself. So, you know, I saw that little thing. I laughed at it. I was like, God damn it. Like, that's funny. I freaking, before every fight, I'm like, man, this is freaking crazy. What the hell am I doing? I'm kind of like Felder in a sense. I'm always just like riding that wave, you know?
Well, I was going to ask, actually, funny that you said Felder. Like, people have said that about him too. Like, you know, he's halfway in, halfway out. Do you think that's something, because you're doing the commentary, people are going to say, oh, like, he's not 100% committed to his fighting career. He's already thinking about what's coming after, and maybe they use that to like question your motivation or something like that.
Would you say that to DC? Would you say that to Dominic Cruz? I mean, just because somebody has a couple of hiccups and they're able to have these, you know, essentially two jobs, that doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? Like, if anything, I think it benefits you when your life revolves around this sport even more. Like, you're not just like, it's not like it's a job that takes you away from fighting. Like, to be a commentator, to be an analyst, you have to watch fights. You have to break down fighters. You have to look, I'm a fan of the sport as it is, you know, so is Paul. But it's like, when you get into these roles, into these jobs as a commentator or an analyst, now you're not just watching as a fan. You're like, you have to watch from an analytical standpoint all the time. Even if you're not, like, at this point now, if I'm watching a pay-per-view and I'm not even, it's not like, if I'm watching a live pay-per-view, I watch as a fan and I'm starting to take little notes that I'm going to use going forward. Like, it's easy for people to say that, you know what I mean? When somebody's, you know, maybe not doing as well as they should, or let me rephrase that. Not when somebody's having some hiccups and they're balancing both jobs. Of course, people are going to say that. People, anytime somebody loses a fight, no matter what they're doing, everybody jumps all over them. You know what I mean? So it's easy for those people to say that, but us people that are in these positions in the broadcasting in the broadcasting world, we know that this isn't a hindrance. The UFC wouldn't hire us while we're competing if it was going to hold us back from performing. We're fighters before we're anything. You know what I mean? So if they put an active fighter in these positions, they're not going to do that if this is going to get in the way of what's most important, and that's fighting. So I think that's just rubbish. You know what I mean? I don't think that there's no interference, you know, and I've had a lot of people not ask me that question from that standpoint, but a lot of people be like, you know, how is being an analyst, how does this tie into your fighting career? And I go, it ties in great. Like, I'm having to sharpen my mind. There's only so many ways you can sharpen the mental aspect of fighting. You can go see a sports psychologist, you can go to a hypnotist. There's only so many things you can do. Whereas being a commentator and analyst, this is a very rare tool that we can use to sharpen our minds for the sport. So it's very beneficial.
Do you think Neil gets the respect he deserves from fans, considering he has the second most wins in welterweight history?
It's hard to get the respect from the fans as it is. You know what I mean? And bless their hearts. The fans are what make this possible. The fans are the reason why you guys get paid to do what you do. They're the reason why we get paid to do what we do. And I think we all have a certain amount of gratitude for that. But it's not easy to win the fans over, and it's sure as hell easy to get them to turn against you. You know what I mean? But I don't think Neil really cares about what the fans think. I think his peers, all of his peers, give him the respect he deserves. We all know how talented he is. We all know how tough he is. We see him for what he's worth. You know what I mean? But I don't see him as a guy that really puts much thought into like wanting to win the fans over. I think the guy's super tough. He's, you know, like you said, second for all time wins at welterweight, and that speaks volumes for how good of a fighter he is. And, you know, it's great to be able to compete against guys like that. But, you know, I don't think you got to take the fans can be very they can be very harsh, but you got to take it with a grain of salt, man. Be more focused on what your peers think than what the people on the outside think.
Was there any fear that they would pull Neil to replace Hamza?
Oh yeah, yeah. I woke up that morning. The one training trip I took to Tucson. I played it safe this camp. I didn't want to go. You know, none of my teammates have had COVID, so I'm trying to keep. We're all trying to stay healthy, and so you know, I'm like, we got to travel. I don't have a guy that's 6'3" in my gym. I don't have a guy with 80-inch reach in my gym. So we made one traveling trip to Arizona to go get some looks for a couple days, and sure enough, like the first morning I wake up there, I'm like headline on my phone. I think it's like, I think it was an MMA junkie notification. Hamza Chimaev out of the main event. I'm like, God dang it. Like right when I get here, like, shoot. So of course I'm talking to my manager and I'm like, I'm like, hey, we're probably going to lose this fight, huh? And he's like, I don't know. It's hard to say. Do you want to throw your name in the mix to fight Leon? I said, well, yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? Like, if it was up to me, let's keep the Magny fight. But, you know, yeah, definitely throw my name in the hat for Leon. Who wouldn't? You know what I mean? For a guy that's ranked that high, and I'm peaking in terms of my physical conditioning. And when you start peaking, you're just ready to fight anybody. And, you know, and so I'm like, yeah, throw my name in the hat for Leon. We'll see what happens. So I head to the gym and we get done with our sparring session. I was like, hey, I want to go 2 extra rounds. Just because I'm like, what, you know, I might be in this main event. I don't know what's going on. You know, I'm not glued to my phone. This is happening. I'm like waking up, these messages are happening, and then I'm off to the gym within, 15, 20 minutes. And, and on the way to the gym, I'm like rushing, like watching film on like a few guys, like watching a couple minutes of each guy I think I could be fighting. You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys tweeting stuff. Like every guy that's tweeting something, I'm like, okay, I need to watch like 2 minutes on this guy, 2 minutes on this guy. And then I get done with the training session, and sure enough, we find out it's me and Magny in a main event. So I think it worked out for the best. I know it sucks seeing Leon on the sidelines as a fighter and as a fan. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the sport, and I like seeing Leon compete. He's super fun to watch. But his misfortune kind of played in favor for me and Neil, and I'm not upset about it at all. I'm very excited for this opportunity. I feel like we both deserve it. And I think a lot of people would agree. And speaking on the note about fans, the feedback that came out on Twitter, I was like super stoked on, because I'm like thinking we're just going to get bashed. Like they're going to be like, this fight sucks. And there's a few guys like, oh, this is going to be a snooze fest, like this and that. But like the vast majority of the fans were like, this is a banger, like good for these guys. So I'm like, hell yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's good to see the fans rallying behind us, and, and recognizing this has the potential to be a very, very fun fight. And we have 5 rounds to scrap. So, what's there not to enjoy about that?
It was good to hear, Dana's comments about this too. They told John the other day, said how much you and Neil were really deserving at this position. Obviously it wasn't the original plan, but he's more than happy with where it ended up.
Yeah, I did hear about that. And it's always good when the boss gives you some recognition. Neil throwing his name in the hat to fight Hamza and he even threw his name in the hat to fight Mike Perry. If you guys recall that, like I think he slid into your comments or an MMA junkie thing and was like, hey, I'll fight Perry at 185 when he lost his opponent. So this is a guy that's like, he's game to fight all the time. And he's a guy that he's always in shape. And, I fought the toughest season Ultimate Fighter, in my opinion. And, I've got a lot of big wins in my career. I'm on a roll right now at 170 pounds. And it's cool that the boss acknowledges that we're both deserving of this opportunity. And, we wouldn't be here. I think that if he didn't think we could put the weight of this card on our back, I think that he would have found some way to salvage this Leon fight. So it's an honor to have the big man, have Uncle Dana say, yeah, we'll give it to these guys. They deserve it. So we won't let them down.
Speaking of the Ultimate Fighter, when Neil came in here, he said that this bubble is more boring than the Ultimate Fighter house. Do you agree?
Well, if we weren't fighting each other, I'd just tell him to come to room 1310 and play some Mario Kart with me and the boys, because I'm having a good time. I'm having a blast. You know what I mean? We got the Switch upstairs. We're playing vids. We're getting some good laughs and stuff, watching some TV series and stuff. I'm having a good time. So, you know, it's teach their own. I love it here. I'm totally like, I love the W. I'm walking around, seeing all the people I saw before and got the boys with me. Like, I'm having a good time, you know? So maybe when the fight gets over, win or lose, he wants to play some Mario Kart, make the most of this last leg of the trip after the fight. We'll have a good time.
You were on a much longer season of The Ultimate Fighter as well.
Yeah, it's very true. double what he was. Double the season that he was on. Yeah, for sure. So I don't mind it. I'm like callous to this stuff. Like, yeah, cooped up, bubble, hotel, house, mansion, room, whatever. It's all good. I'm even at the Holiday Inn. I didn't even care. I'm like, 2 days at the Holiday Inn, man. Just relax and stretch, make the most of it, you know. So it's all good. It's all good.
Got over it, you couldn't spar much, that you'd had to put that on the back burner for your other fights. You said you have been sparring ahead of this. What difference has that made to you being able to get back in there and properly get at it?
It's great. You know what I mean? That last camp was when I fought RDA was a nightmare. Like, it was like, you get your confidence, at least for myself. I get my confidence from my preparation. It's particularly live training, like grappling, wrestling, sparring. Like, that's where you get your confidence. And when you have those good days, and even when you have your bad days, and just knowing like, man, I got my ass kicked in sparring day, but hey, I made it through all my rounds. Like, that's where you get your confidence. And going into a fight against a guy like RDA, who's super dangerous, who in my opinion is one of the most well-rounded guys in the UFC. He can submit you, he can knock you out, he can wrestle you, he can kind of do everything. I was like, it was very scary for me to go into that fight knowing like I'm not at my best. You know what I mean? And my coach did a phenomenal job. Rick Little did a phenomenal job keeping me stimulated through the camp, because he could see, I mean, my body language, it was written all over me that I was scared. You know what I mean? It's more scared. I'm scared for every fight, but more scared than I've ever been when I can't even spar. And he did a good job keeping me stimulated and coming up with drills and certain ways I can do live training without getting my face hit. I mean, the fracture was bad. I mean, it looked like a spider web on the right side of my nose. I'm lucky that it didn't end up on this side of my face, me looking like Picasso. You know what I mean? So, or a Picasso painting. But yeah, fuck. I don't know what Picasso looks like, but I know his paintings. I know his paintings are a little abstract. but it just feels good going into this fight. And like, dude, I gotta push myself. I gotta push the live rounds. And that's just been great. So that's where I'm getting a lot of this confidence from, is the fact that like I've been able to train hard, go live, hook it up. And I'm really prepared for this fight.
I would think it's interesting as well when I look at records. And obviously, I see you for Masvidal many years ago. Back then, did you think, because he had a career year really in 2019, and now look where he is, one of the kind of pay-per-view stars of UFC. Did you see that for him when you fought him then? And I guess for yourself moving forward, it shows you how quickly things can turn.
Well, on that note, there's a reason why I'm getting into these roles as an analyst and things of that sort, is because I'm a huge fight nerd. Like, so I got into that Jorge Masvidal fight because my original opponent got in some law trouble, Reza Madadi, and got pulled from the fight. And so Joe Silva, he calls me with some names. I didn't like him at the time. I'm undefeated. I'm like thinking I can beat anybody. I'm like, I want the list of everybody available. And Jorge Masvidal's on the list. And I mean, dude, back then, a lot of people didn't know who he was, but I'm looking at this as a guy that fought for the Strikeforce title. This guy's super tough. This guy beat Eve Edwards, who Eve Edwards is, in my opinion, one of the best lightweights of all time. I'm like, this guy's in the UFC now. Like, this is the guy I want to fight. This is the best guy available. And I've always recognized his skills. And, we all saw the fight planned out. I had a great first round, one of the best first rounds of my life, but, he got the best of me, but it didn't surprise me at all. Like, he deserves to have the success that he has because he trains hard. He's put his time in the sport, and it's good to see him break out and become the superstar that he has become now. So, I knew he had the skills back then, but there's a certain amount of luck in this sport required to get to the next levels. You know what I mean? Like, it takes, a Chris Weidman injury to get Michael Bisping into a title fight. It takes, you know, a flying knee KO of Ben Askren, certain things where you can work it, you can be the hardest working guy in the gym, but there's always going to be a certain element of luck that's going to be required to get you to the next level. And I'm glad that he found that. It's cool to see him in where he's at in his career, man. And to say I got to share the octagon with him, it's a true honor. Hell of a fighter.
You talk about the list and stuff. Are there other guys like that names that you look at and you think, oh, yeah, from a legacy perspective, I'd like to get in there with them?
Back then, I mean, on that list, there wasn't there was good guys, but not, you know, to me, not a guy like Jorge. Like he's like, I knew how good he was back then, and I was a huge fan. So it's like he's the guy that stood out to me. I mean, you know, the guy with the man bun beating the crap out of guys, and you know, and Kimbo Slice patting him on the back when he gets done. Like on top of the fact he's beat the guys he has and fought for the Strikeforce title. I mean, that stands out to me more than any of the guys that were on that list. You know. Oh, today, yeah, man. There are definitely some names I want to fight, but since I got into this camp for Neil, I've kind of put them to the wayside. Like I want to be very focused on this guy. I mean, you have one lapse in focus against Neil Magny, he's going to steamroll you. You know what I mean? And he puts a tremendous amount of pressure on his opponents. He's extremely confident. And, you know, I've been telling people, like, usually I have an idea of who I want to fight next. I've got a penchant for winning fights and calling guys out. And that's not on the fly. That's a premeditated thing. Like towards the end of camp, I'm like, okay, I kind of know who I want to fight next. I've seen how these matchups are like panning out and seeing who's winning and who's losing and knowing like what fights I could potentially get. You can't just jump on the mic and call for the champ unless you just want a number one contender fight. You got to do. Joe Silva gave me the best advice ever. He says, hey, make my job easier. If you win a fight, if you have a name in mind that makes sense, if you call them out after your fight, more often than not, you're going to get that fight. So ever since he told me that, I've just lived by that kind of rule I set for myself. I've just kind of put that on the wayside this time. I'm solely focused on Neil Magny. I don't have a name that I want next. I don't have a list of guys. I got one guy, and that's Neil. So I'm focused on him, and that's it. And I think that'll pay its dividends come fight night.
Who'd you train with in Tucson?
Actually, it was a guy. So my teammate Tyler McGuire fought for the ONE FC title. And he trained with us. He's active Air Force, so he's at Fairchild Air Force Base. And they restationed him in Tucson. And he actually trains at Joey Rivera's gym, who's on Neil's season. So it wasn't like we went there like, oh, this guy's got the secret. They were on Tough 9 years ago together. Like, no, it wasn't anything like that at all. It's just happened to be where my buddy trains. And so, you know, Joey's a tall guy himself. And there was a few other guys that were tall and rangy. And even though Tyler doesn't have the same build as Neil, I'm undefeated in fights where Tyler's been in my camp. So it would feel wrong to not go train with my man, Captain America, Tyler McGuire. But yeah, I got great looks down there. You know, and it was good. And the big thing is, dude, you got to be safe in the climate of what's going on right now. Like none of us have had COVID, and I would be devastated, especially getting a main event spot. If it's like I took some chances to go get some different looks or bringing a guy into Spokane to train at my gym and I get sick because of it and I lose this opportunity, that'd be devastating. So it paid off, and, you know, and we were smart about it. You know, the numbers were small. It wasn't like we went into some huge, you know, I didn't even really go to the PI this camp. And that's always been a staple for my camps since 2018. I'm like, they take very, you know, the precautions they take right now are the best, but it's still like, I'm playing it safe this card or for this camp. I played it very safe. So we were able to make it work for me to get down there and get some looks in, and it was good.
Earlier, you briefly mentioned utilizing sports psychologists. I'm just wondering, is that something you've done, and if so, has it helped?
Actually, my Uncle Joe, bless Uncle Joe's heart, Joe Corella, he's the sports psychologist for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's been with them for a long time. And, you know, he's always been a good source of you know, especially that last camp going against RDA. I like, you know, I've never really utilized him a ton, but I finally was like, dude, I'm falling apart. Like, get me back in the game, Uncle Joe. I need you. And he did just that, you know, and I talked to him yesterday and we had a good conversation. But yeah, definitely. I can't honestly say that if I didn't have my uncle, that I would go search that person out. You know what I mean? I wouldn't go look for that resource, but I'm fortunate and I'm blessed to have one in my family that's a phone call away. So it's always good to have that you know, that ace in your hand. You know, Uncle Joe knows what's up.
think more athletes should be open to trying that sort of thing?
100%. I mean, this sport is 99% mental. I mean, I know guys, a ton of guys that in the gym are just like, they work the hardest in the gym. They're killers. You'd think like this guy is like the next future world champion, but they're just inside, they don't have it. And that's a very hard thing to train. It's a hard thing to develop on your own. If you're struggling with mental issues in fighting and in life, it's hard to get through those things on your own. And I think it's sometimes, especially, you know, I think it could be hard to, especially as a fighter, to like make that decision to like, I need to seek out some help because mentally I'm having some issues with confidence or whatever it may be. But I think I encourage guys to do that. I think it can be very beneficial. And, you know, you hear a lot of guys doing that. A lot of guys are talking to mental coaches and sports psychologists. Some guys even go see like hypnotists, you know? So I talked to Uncle Joe and I work as an analyst. My mind is strong. I am very sound between the ears. Yeah.
What did you think to the new cannabis anti-doping policy that came out?
Oh, good. I'm glad I got to talk about I'm glad I got to talk about I talk a lot. I'm sorry. I think it's great. I think it's really good. There's a lot of benefits to cannabis. It just has a bad stigma behind it. But I just think that, especially right now, I think the biggest thing is, and I don't, just to keep this short, in the climate of what we're going through in mixed martial arts right now, guys are stepping up on short notice and taking fights, and marijuana doesn't get out of your system that fast. So I think that there's got to be some type of change, or else these guys are going to get penalized. Like we can safely say at this point, it's just a plant. It's not a drug. And I think that it's very unfortunate when guys are getting opportunities to step up and fight on short notice and get big opportunities. And the fact that they, you know, used cannabis, you know, a short time before that call came, and it came back to bite him in the butt when the fight gets over. That's unfortunate. I feel like you got to lighten up for the climate and in the era of the sport that we're in right now. Guys are getting the call on short notice. You got to be ready to go. So I think it's the right move. So we don't have guys getting suspended, getting big wins overturned and things of that sort. I think it's the right move to make, and I hope to see the state athletic commissions make the move to adjust to the UFC's and USADA's new protocols.
Thanks, guys.
Sweet. Sorry, guys. See ya.
But you got one more stop.
One more stop?
Well, Rick was drinking all my drinks, so.
Was he? Thanks, y'all.
We were regulating on the beach last night. I don't think. Well, obviously, a big result for you last time out, right? I got to ask, like, kind of how big was that for you? I mean, I know you believed in yourself, but to get that under your belt, how important was that for you?
Yeah, the first win in the UFC is always important. Obviously, I fell short in my debut. I got a draw, which was a very close fight. So to come out and get the win was massive for me.
Very nice. And then it's a 6-month delay between that, right? I mean, that was such an impressive performance. I mean, I know the world's crazy right now. Were you hoping to fight sooner than you did, or was this just kind of the way things had to be?
Yeah, I want to fight like 4 times a year in the perfect world, really, but it just didn't work out that way. But we're here today. I'm happy we get to fight in January.
Very nice. What was the focus between then and now? I mean, were there tweaks that you felt you had to make? Was it just, staying down the same path? What's the focus been?
Just staying on the same path, really. I'm always in the gym anyway, working. So we've just been working. As soon as we got the matchup, we worked some specifics for the fight.
You get the matchup here. What were your thoughts, right? Because this guy, I mean, he has this insane career record, right? But he's not really a big name, so to speak. So what did you think when they gave you this fight?
It's a big fight. He's fought like the best of the guys in the outside the top 15 for featherweight, and then he's fought Peter Yan and Rob Font, which are the champion and top 5 maybe. So he's fought good guys in the UFC. I think he's joined the UFC 22-0. So I don't know about his fights outside the UFC, but in the UFC he's had some good fights. He's put some good performances on.
Yeah, what do you make of his game overall? Like you said, I mean, he's come up short against those guys, but you're talking about the like absolute best of the division. So, what do you think about where his level is as a competitor?
He's tough. He's tough. He's got good striking. He's powerful. He's tough. But I just feel like I'm just going to be the smarter fighter in there on Wednesday.
Nice. Last thing for me, what's the goal here? I mean, obviously the goal is to get a win, but I feel like after that last one, people are saying, "Oh, this might be the guy." I mean, so are you thinking that, hey man, I can show people that I'm ready to like take leaps and bounds up, or is this just little baby step, a little move in the right direction?
I know Douglas is very experienced and he's been in there with the best of guys, so I've just got to go in there with a clear head and just do me, and whatever happens will happen. I just want to put on a good performance and show people like how good I am.
This is your third fight in Abu Dhabi?
Yes, yeah.
Fight in Vegas anytime soon?
I don't mind. I love it over here. I love the hospitality, but it would be nice to get out to Vegas too at some point.
Does fighting on the same you're not on the same card, but the same fight week as Conor, who demands a lot of attention, specifically in your part of the world, does that mean anything to you? Yeah,
it's massive. I fought on the Khabib Poirier card too, which was massive too. So it's like I'm grateful for it all, man. I'm grateful for it all.
You happy to be fighting on the Wednesday card as opposed to the big pay-per-view?
It would be better to fight on that card, but I don't mind this, and I'm happy to be fighting with what's going on in the world today. I'm happy to be able to do my job and get out there. So Wednesday, Tuesday, it don't really matter to me.
What do you think of the main event on your card between Chiesa and Magny?
Oh, do you know what? I'm pretty bummed out that Chimaev and Edwards, we lost that fight, but Chiesa and Magny's still a good fight. I'm still looking forward to watching that one too.
I think I'm right in saying fighting was never your first choice. You wanted to be a professional footballer, right?
Yeah.
How did you transcend into mixed martial arts?
Well, I got injured at 16 years old and I never played football again. I was kind of scared to play football again after that. But I just ended up, a gym opened up in Manchester and I just ended up just going to train, actually. I never thought I'd want to be a fighter until like my second amateur fight. And that's when I thought I wanted to do this professionally.
Who'd you support?
Manchester United.
Yeah, boy.
Ollie at the wheel, or what's your thoughts?
What's that, sorry?
Ollie at the wheel. You know, everyone says, "Oh, Ollie's so at the wheel," or you're just still skeptical. You're top of the league.
I know, but yeah, for now. I don't know. Do you know what? I don't know. I like Ollie. He used to be my favorite player at the, when he used to play, but I feel like we need like a solid manager.
You've got like a little bit of a similar backstory to Darren Till in the sense that you both received some pretty awful physical violence outside the cage. I think I'm right in saying you were shot in the face. How did that change your outlook on life?
Just it changed my direction totally, and getting into MMA was like a massive change in that, with the discipline and having something to focus on, something to drive towards, and it changed my life. Yeah, MMA changed my life massively.
This might sound like a stupid question, and feel free to not talk about it, but like, what is it like being shot in the face?
Exactly how you imagine it to be.
Can't imagine shot in the face.
It's just, do you know what? It was just like getting punched in the face, like getting dropped. Like it's just like an impact kind of thing, and I just felt like I think it knocked me out for a second, and when I woke up, it was like a beeping noise. Like, if you play Call of Duty, and you hear like the beeping noise, that's what it's like. Exactly, that's what it's like. But yeah, like when you get stunned, same thing. In the mouth, in the face.
You spit the bullets out?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Mad, innit?
What's it like spitting bullets that were inside your face?
It's just
like
part
of it.
Yeah, it's just like part of it. I don't know. Adrenaline was kicking. Like it didn't really affect me too.
But you were scared to play football again at one point.
Yeah. Mad, It's mad. It's a crazy life, isn't it?
When something that dramatic happens to you, do you take moments to think like, I cannot believe I'm still alive, or is it almost like so crazy it's like it didn't even happen to you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's more like I'm glad to be here, and I have to like make the most of it now, like extra time kind of thing. I don't like dwelling on it and thinking about it too much, but I'm always trying to look forward, and obviously my family and my mum she's happy that I'm doing something positive now, and I'm doing well. Thank
Obviously,
you.
like in the UK, we haven't had it amazing the past year in terms of lockdowns and stuff like
Mm.
that. And I've spoken to a range of fighters who have done different things to cope with that.
Yeah.
And obviously, you're up north, where down south for us, we've been like locked in for a lot of it. How did you cope? How did you adjust over the past year in terms of your training?
To be honest, it's been good for me. I've kind of enjoyed it more. I'm not seeing all my friends out and about doing this and that, and like being envious. But I've just literally been going to the gym, training, coming home, cooking, whatever. I've had like a good round, so the levels climbing massively.
What do you think that is? Like the coaches, facilities, or is it like people are kind of blazing the trail and the interest is out?
Yeah, I feel like the interest is up and more people are doing it. So there's more competition and the coaching's getting better. People are wrestling from a younger age and stuff. So the levels rising.
You mentioned you have a teammate up and coming there. Do you kind of feel like that you're blazing the trail for Manchester top team? Do you feel that you're the guy that's like doing that and then setting the example for them?
Yeah, I'm trying to set a good example for the younger guys. They know how hard I work. They see how hard I train and stuff. So I'm just trying to pave the way for these guys and show them the way.
And obviously being from the south of Manchester area, like how much did Michael Bisping like have an influence on you?
Yeah, all of them guys are the older guys. Michael Bisping, Ross Pearson and stuff. I've been Jimmy Manuel. I've been watching all them from younger and thinking, wow, these guys have done it, so it's possible.
And well, whenever this pandemic ends, I'm assuming you're just itching to get to the O2 or the Manchester Arena.
Yeah, 100%. The Manchester Arena is the dream. I heard that they're building a bigger arena than that as well. So that's the dream in the next few years, definitely.
Cool.
Is that good, yeah?
So, yeah,
okay,
good.
thank you. Thank you. See ya.
Theoretically, 3, and likely 2. Maybe 4. Technically, Moreira never showed up, so theoretically 3. But then you're right.
I did.
Greetings.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
Listen, you've been fighting for a long time. Fought all over the world, but Fight Island. Give me the idea. What's the experience been like for you so far? Are you enjoying it?
One wonderful adventure.
Did it live up to what did you have any expectations of what you were getting into?
The flight over here was the best part.
No, it wasn't.
It totally was, because I was business class for the first time. They gave me steak for breakfast. That was cool. I got to lay down. I'm super jet lagged and super off my schedule, and it's not the best, but I'm excited to do my job and then go home.
How about the quarantine? Were you well suited for that, or did you find it difficult?
It was a challenge.
Very nice. All right, talk about this matchup. You're a respectable opponent for sure, but one that's kind of new to the UFC. So when you got the name, did you know much about her?
I was stoked. It's somebody new. I've had so many rematches in my career. I'm like, yes, a new person.
So that's interesting because I wonder if it's tough for you to get motivated. I mean, you fought the best in the world, right? So I mean, when it's somebody new, is that exciting, or do you have to get yourself fired up a little bit?
I don't think I really thought about it until I fought Andrea Lee, and then people kept asking me about rematches. So then it made me think oh, cool, yeah. So I never have a problem with motivation. I always want to prove my skills, grow, and evolve.
Yeah. At this point in your career, I mean, when you break somebody down, I mean, is there anything unique? Is there anything that somebody brings to the table that you haven't seen before at this point in your career?
more like what I'm going to do with them and how I've evolved over the years and my new skills, because I'm always evolving. I'm always, getting better, adding new tools to my toolbox, refining, sharpening the axe.
Right.
So I don't know what that hand motion was, but so just figure out how to beat her. And my coach figured it out, and I'm just going to go do it. So it's going to be great.
You've had some big wins over the past few years. Of course, you've had a couple of setbacks as well. I mean, it seems like win-loss, kind of alternating. So what do you think the key is to getting consistency? Is it something, tactically? Is it mentally? Like, what do you think it's going to take?
Attain the power! Just keep getting better. I think I've improved a lot. My wrestling's gotten better. My striking's gotten better. Coach John Wood has tweaked some of my balance footwork points. I just made that word up. But, I feel more balanced. I feel stronger. Thanks, Lorenzo Pavlica, my strength and conditioning coach. Jiu-jitsu, so all around, I've just been training forever. And I'm excited to show what I got.
Awesome. Last thing for me, what are the goals for you at this point, right? I mean, I know that you're a martial artist at heart, right? I mean, so is it about, chasing a belt?
Win.
Just win?
Just win. If I get the title shot, great. I know that's a very political thing, based on stuff. So I'm just going to keep winning, keep smashing, and keep improving.
Roxanne, hey, you talk about some striking techniques, but I want to know what exactly is the Roxycopter?
I think I have stopped using the Roxycopter ever since Emily ducked under my back fist and took me down. Very disappointed in that. Good job, Emily Whitmire. No, it's a punch to a spinning back fist to a body kick. Very cool. Yes, I've revealed my secret technique because it got foiled. But you never know when it'll reappear.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
You had posted a weird question. You had posted a graphic. It was like choose your fighter. It was like a bunch of your cosplays, and people got really into it in the comment section. Did you notice that fans were gravitated towards one specifically?
Oh, I didn't. What was the comment?
A lot of them liked the Monkey D. Luffy.
Okay. Yes, a lot of people are making a play on words on my name and Monkey D. Luffy.
Sure.
That's cool. That was my friend Justin made that collage.
Have you moved into the new condo, right?
I sort of have. So I signed it. It's mine. I moved some boxes in there, but I decided not to move everything just because it's stressful before my move. So when I get home, I'm going to do the big move.
Last time I spoke to you, you told me that your dad helps you with like investing and things like that. Have you been able to jump on the Bitcoin hype?
No, but I've heard various things about it. I still am confused about it. Is it like digital currency? Is it like a stock? Is it like ding, Mario, you get like a coin?
I think it's all of it.
Oh, cool. I'll ask him and see what he says. That should be an interesting answer.
Anyone else? Roxy, I think you're good.
Awesome. Thank you.
It's just dropped like 3,000 or so.
Oh, snap.
Invest today.
Or maybe you invest today.
Yeah. That is when you invest.
I think,
Thank you.
even the PR Jimmy Bear is
yeah. Thanks, like that, everyone.
My problem making it then FaceTime.
So it's some kind of meaning, like if you get engaged or whatever, but she said yes. He said yes.
Steven that job. Steven that, sorry.
Never totally contacted
You know, this like episode 3 where he's like saying, just trying to keep it straight, but everything's coming out gay. He goes, I'm not talking about gay stuff.
No, is that the one where they try and make friends? So
Yeah, they try to make friends.
So they put up like a photo.
looks like this, there's a bicep, and then he goes, I was going to turn it around. And he goes, hey guys, I'm looking for something out in a giant man.
I think that's the thing to do. Oh, I asked him about no, I asked him if he's the Manchester United manager, called Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and United fans every time
And every time they lose, they get sacked.
Yeah, so I can't say anything. I'm annoyed.
The only football talking that I've watched for the years and first thing I played
Yeah, that was just they were playing Spurs that week, and he was the Spurs guys, so we were like, fuck you, fuck
that was the game that came. He didn't
they scored the crazy goal at the end.
Did you hear that, Oscar?
Oh
yeah,
a bunch of fucking sluts.
I haven't got a lot. Glad we can all do.
I started writing something off like Chiesa and Alex sent me the tweet for a while now, but
He was the guy that flew the Millennium Falcon. Okay. He plays family. Okay. I have no idea. You don't pay attention to Asian actors? Is that on him?
Yeah, I think they close at midnight. So we gotta go there by 9 to close it. Official service.
Of course, where is this? It's at
That's not easy.
UAE Warriors.
Yeah.
We're serious. I've never done that.
You're annoying.
Waiting for class?
No, that's all. Yep, thank you.
It's good to be back. It's been a while since we've had a chance to see you.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. Been living life. Everything's good though. Feel good. I don't think I've forgotten how to fight. So, yeah,
Right.
should be good.
Very nice. You obviously you had a nice run going, and then you had the setback last time out. I gotta imagine that when stuff like that happens, you want to get back in as soon as possible, right? So, I mean, like you said, living life, all good, but has it been a frustrating time at all?
Yeah, of course. Frustrating in some ways, but you know, I've had plenty of things going on to keep me occupied. So, yeah.
Physically, we know the issues that you faced. I mean, did anything have to be done? I mean, were there any changes that had to be made, or what was it?
You know, I think I let myself get pretty big during the pandemic, and we were coming down from probably as big as I've ever been in my entire life, and maybe stretch myself a little thin there, but we've had more time and I've settled in and I feel good about things. My weight's good. So, yeah.
The pandemic has obviously affected everybody pretty bad. So, I mean, is it that simple to write up, be like, dude, this is not normal times? Or did you feel like there were like real, changes that had to be made?
You know, I think I made some mistakes in the build up And, some things that I typically do one way, I did a different way, and it's nobody's fault but my own. So I've done my best to, not dwell on it too much, but try and get past it. And I've, had some dark days and obviously didn't feel good about things, but I figured there's only one way to make it right, and that's to get in there and fight this guy. So here we are.
Well, that's the thing. So get in there and fight this guy, right? So was it important to you that it was this guy? Like, do you feel like you owe him something, or?
I wouldn't say that, but there's only so many fights in this division anyways, and this is one that is exciting to me, and I have a lot of respect for Tyson Nam. So I think that it's a good one, and the matchmakers agree. So, yeah, we're going to get in there and sort it out.
On paper, it looks like it's going to be a pretty fun fight. Let me ask you, obviously you want to win here, but what is the goal here other than just winning? I mean, do you feel like you got to make some statement, or you got to regain some momentum you had before the setback? I mean, what's the goal here?
Winning solves everything. I would like to display my abilities. I'd like to go out there and express myself the way I know how, the way I know I can, and that's all for me. I think if I do that 15 focus minutes for me, I think I can beat anybody. So just get out there and enjoy myself and take it in, be present, and perform the way that me and my guys know I can.
What kind of fight do you think it's going to be, right? Because, I mean, on paper, it looks like it could be like a fight of the night type thing, but at the same time, you both have the ability to finish fights, right? So it could be like a performance of the night type thing. What kind of fight are you envisioning here?
I think I'm going to skip my jab off his forehead for 15 minutes.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
And last thing for me, what type of cake do you like?
Cake? My favorite cake would be red velvet.
Oh, that's weird.
Get the man a red velvet cake?
Wow. That'd be something else. My man. Hey. I don't. Thank you very much.
Birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear man. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all.
I don't have candles here. Here.
Yeah.
Blow it up. Blow it up.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, you can't eat it.
Are we done? Is that it? I can do more. I'm here. I'm here for it. Felt like that was a good way to close it out, though.
All right, we're letting the man go.
Okay, appreciate you guys.
Thank y'all very much.
Nice work. Even red velvet.
I really liked it. Everyone's his name.
I don't think they're going to go back to 7 o'clock and do it.